Boom.
Yo.
We're back.
In the hizzy.
It feels like a long time since I've done this shit.
It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
Right? I couldn't. I was setting up the show earlier on and I couldn't even remember what to do. So we can definitely have a count for how many times I fuck this up. Yeah, welcome back to the Oblivion show. I'm Joey T and this is...
Mr. Dolphin to you, yo.
What
How's it going,
Joey? It's been up and down, but we're getting there.
Like a exciting, like a roller coaster.
Kinda, yeah. But a break was needed, so a break was had. Been working on a few other things, which will be revealed pretty soon. I'm working on myself a little bit, and other things in my life have been changing. So, yeah, it's been
a journey, right?
It's been a time, shall we say?
It's a journey.
Yeah. Yep. And how have you been?
Good, man. Yeah. Making AI rappers, like, you know. Because the world needs more AI rappers, right?
Not just AI rappers, the very specific one you've been working on. What was the Ice Spice?
I've got a couple of them now. I've got Ice Spice. I built my own Ice Spice. And I built my own Joey Valence and Brie. So yeah, so now I can just type in whatever words I want to say and yap. It's like my own little rapper slaves that do whatever I tell them to. So
wow.
That's pretty cool. So and infinite vocals now. So, which is quite cool. But yeah, what else have we been up to? Went to Trailer Fest. That was fun a few weeks ago with with Jeff and Makeel and Robert and all the guys. That was lots of fun. That was the first time I've been. You've been there before, haven't you?
Yeah, I was there last year with Hardcore Beer.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, man. It's kind of like Bang Facey type, like Boomtown vibes, like very kind of trashy, like it says, it's Trailer Fest.
Yeah,
but really nice vibes, really friendly. Everyone was kind of like dressed up to like looking really like trashy and stuff, and it was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun. Great sound system, and it was just a party, man. It was just like great sound system, and really good vibes. So I had a great time. Awesome. Love to go back next year.
Nice. So,
what have you been up to? Any gigs?
Oh, I can't even remember. My mind is
in a blur, right? Summer is just
right
hot.
Yeah. Definitely done a few gigs over the last few months, but I honestly can't remember. I've been dealing with some other stuff, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hello everybody in the chat.
Hello friends.
There's a few heads in there. I think we got 40 or so, 45 people in there. Sorry we've been away for so long, but we're back. So quick shout outs: Drastic, Banana, Butterfist, J Tracid. Mark Fletcher, Lars, Myrage Industries, Amelia Pert, I guess that's John Pert, Andrew Butterfist, Tigo, hey buddy, Side 909, Floris in the chat, hey Floris. Gate System in the chat. I got your track, dude. It won't make it on today. We already had to cut some people. We'll put you on the next show, just so you know. Danny Crash is in the chat, hey buddy. Hedvig, hey, Deidre, Mr. Banana, Sir Rebel Pawsey. Hi, welcome back to the show. Do us a favor, stick a like on the stream, share the stream on your socials, and write a little comment underneath, because it all really helps for us with the virality and shit of the show.
Virality. I like going viral, not not being virile. Virality.
Quick shout from our sponsors, Hardcore Beer. If you go to hardcorebeer.nl and use Oblivion Show at checkout, you get yourself a discount. It's down at the moment, the site over there, but it's about to be updated with a lot of very cool stuff, including a brand new Oblivion beer, among others. So keep your eyes out for that shit. So without further ado, I guess we should bring on our guest. Sorry, by the way, in advance, I'm a little bit rusty, everybody, so I'm going to fuck things up. I'm a bit clunky.
Remember, we've got a guest.
We've got a guest. Let's bring the guest on and we'll go from there. Good evening, Mike Redman. aka Deformer, the multi-talented Rotterdam-based DJ, artist, movie maker, producer, special effects wizard,
rapper MC.
Is there anything else? Is there anything we've missed?
I hope not.
How's it going, dude? You okay?
Well, not too well. Actually, I woke up sick today.
Oh shit!
I was on the verge of canceling, but I'm, in good company, so I couldn't do that.
You're a trooper.
But other than that, it's going very well. Thank you.
What have you been doing recently?
Oh, a lot of different projects. Been producing a lot of new music, working on a new documentary as well, and all the average bullshit, but in a different way.
Like it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome, and well overdue, by the way. You've obviously got a release coming out on the Hardcore Remixes EP, which made it a poignant time for us to have you on. But I kind of underestimated you as a guest and a personality a little bit, and I had a rude awakening when I started to compile information on you, that you've done so much stuff. It actually became quite the mission. So we'll get into all of that.
Sherlock Holmes, E.T.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it a little bit with you. Well, first of all, first segment of the show, as ever, is the New Blood section. New Blood. Now, if you're new to the show and you don't know what's going on, the New Blood is where we review your music and you get feedback from us and people in the chat, and get some feedback and try and develop people a little bit. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it. First up on this show's New Blood is, that was me coming through there, is Rupture with Unbound Rage. Let's go.
As long as possible. I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves! Untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
All right, a little bit about the artist before we get to some feedback. Hey everybody, this is Rupture, by the way, Vinny. Hi everybody, after a pretty long break from producing...
Vinny. Just give them a shout out. Vinny, isn't it?
Hey everyone, after a pretty long break from producing due to life events, I'm moving to a new home. I finally built the studio back up and improved it quite a bit, resulting in better workflow and definitely more fun too. I've been trying out some new tricks to put this little track together. Got a few more in progress, but feedback in the meantime can never really hurt. Cheers. Over to you first, Greg. What do you think about that?
A really nice tune. Great way to start. I think I really like the sample. It kind of works really well with the style, kind of chunky, industrial, heavy stuff. Yeah, there was a lot to like about it. The kind of like the percussion and the rides all sounded kind of like well placed. I think the middle drop could have done with a bit of work to kind of clean it up, or to maybe brighten it up as well. In the kind of the middle breakdown, there was you got the Reese going on. You had kind of a low pass kick. There was a filtered snare and stuff, and everything felt quite low down. And I think it needed something to maybe lift it up a little bit. Like sonically, in terms of how it sounded in that middle drop. The biggest thing for me was the second drop needed more of a kick. It needed more oomph in the second drop, and whether that is, I don't know, something like a half beat, like an offbeat kind of like synth stab or something like that to give it a little more drive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential in there. It's a really good, there's lots of really good elements. The sample's great. It all works kind of really well, but that second drop I think, in my opinion, just needs a bit more drive to really just, add the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool job, Vinny.
Okay. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Greg. I think the second drop could be a bit more powerful. But other than that, I think it would work really well at a party. The middle part, I think maybe could use more volume on the half tempo part.
Yeah.
The beat, so it keeps going a little bit more. But yeah, man, just keep it going, man. Rupture.
Yeah, I agree. Some feedback from the chat. Red Flag saying maybe a little bit repetitive and needs something extra, but a solid bass. Yeah, I think it just needs to, as we said there, it just needs to evolve a little bit in the second half of it.
Just maybe like just a little synth or something like that, just to, even whether it's a stab or something like that, just to give it a bit more that you can bring it in on like the second 16s and use it on that second drop as well to kind of give it a bit more impact, a bit more drive.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Butterfist saying that he likes the Reese in there. Definitely.
Yeah, man. The Reese is nice and dirty.
Yeah,
like that.
Tasty Reese. Reese's Pieces.
All right, keep up the great work, Vinny. Nice to see that you're back, buddy. And I hope you've overcome the challenges that you mentioned in your personal life. And look forward to seeing you in the dance sometime soon, man. Next up on the show, we've got Hydroxide with Threat Level Red. Let's go.
Area not secure. Repeat. Area not secure. Warning. You have entered a security zone. Hostile targets detected. Threat analysis. And threat level red.
Awesome. A little bit about Hydroxide. Excuse me. DJ Hydroxide says, "Hi again, nice to see the Oblivion show is back. I was looking forward to it." Yep, we were too. Threat Level Red recently finished and masters. It tells a story about a fight between AI robots, nature, and humans, or humans against themselves, or it's open to
AI rappers against humans.
AI rappers against the world. It's open to interpretation. The vocals are from the Fallout video game. This track is related to the Operation Neutralization, which I submitted in another edition of New Blood. Mike, what do you think?
Well, I think it's the atmosphere is really great. Maybe you could use a little bit more layering, so it gets more full maybe, but that's also personal taste, so I'm not sure if that's a good suggestion. But and also I love the psycho part, the terror part, when after
this
the
extra tone
atmospheric
bit
breakdown,
just came in. Yeah.
that's just a personal thing, I like that stuff. I might even switch that part with the part that comes after that, maybe, but that's a personal thing. Because that's so it's really energetic, aggressive, and after that it becomes more, the drive is more important. If you flip that, maybe you can build it up even more. But I'm not sure, personal opinion.
Yeah.
Well, keep it up. I like it.
So I really like the idea of the story, kind of like the kind of strings and all the kind of atmosphere. It didn't really start until the middle breakdown. It was kind of like, it didn't really, was no kind of, for me, there was no real indication that was coming or the tune was going that way until it got there. Which you can take either way. That can be a good thing, or it can be, kind of like a, maybe there's an opportunity to bring more of that in earlier on, or kind of build it in. But the kicks I struggled with the kicks a bit. They were very kind of noisy, a bit muffled, and a lot of kind of like dirt and mid going on in there. I was missing some top end on the kicks, and maybe some transient as well, like something to give them a real kind of bit of a punch. They were just a bit like woolly, like in a kind of, like a kind of like those metal things that you clean your pans with, those metal woolen things. Felt like a kick drum version of that. Scourer, yeah, like a metal scourer. Scouring kick drums. Anyway, so yeah, like a bit. So yeah, could done with a bit. The synths could definitely be louder. The whole mix could done with like lifting up. It just needed a bit more high end and more energy that would really kind of lift that. Because I really like the story. I like the kind of like the gated synths and all that sort of stuff. The chord progressions. So yeah, but I think the mix as a whole just needs lightening up. It needs lifting up.
I think
there's
some
a lot
of
of mud
that
in there that needs cleaning out.
I think some of it is this guy's from the terror scene and speedcore scene, and I think some of that is like genre / style specific, that kind of kick. So maybe that's kind of what he was aiming for, but I think a few people also commented that it could do with a little bit more high.
Do you know what I would it was Conrad's last album. I think there was a couple of tracks like in a not too dissimilar vein that were very kind of like overdriven, distorted, with big, kind of synths and stuff like that as well. I would kind of have a look at A being that kind of stuff, kind of do some use that as a reference track, find some things in that same area, and just have a listen at how much more mids, high mids and tops and stuff those kinds of tracks have, and that's kind of, it'll help you be a bit more in the ballpark of where it needs to be and how much of a difference it'll make when you really pull up the top end on tracks like that, especially when there's a lot of like mid distortion going on, because the synths were distorted, the kicks were distorted, and everything is just in that kind of mid-range crushy scouring pad kind of region. So yeah, think there's work to be done, but there's something really good there for sure.
Yeah, points for originality with the drop and the breakdown. Was really nice.
That was really cool. That was really cool. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hydroxide, nice one. Please come back. Good stuff. Next up, System Lock with Widespread Danger. Let's go.
The most widespread danger from nuclear explosions is fallout.
Fallout and kill. 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 Fallout and kill.
All right, a little bit about the producer. This is actually an old friend of ours, J5 from Omskirk. Been out of the scene game for a long time. Just started getting into selling my stuff to labels after first starting to put all my mixes and other archive stuff on YouTube, and being inspired to create a double album in about a month back in May, June. I've got hundreds of unfinished saved projects, and I'm working to start turning some into reasonable music. Mostly inspired by hardcore from the early 90s to mid-noughties, and plan to send my stuff to as many relevant labels as possible. I'm interested in making some Gabba early hardcore stuff, which seems more my style. I've got a track coming out on the Deng Deng Noise and Deng Deng compilation, I think that's Smurfs label, in the coming weeks. Well, welcome back, Jay, first of all. What do you think, Greg?
The stereo effect on the synths and the snares just totally threw me. I found it really, really challenging to listen to. I found it really, really hard to listen to. Just because I couldn't place my head in the stereo space at all. It was like really, really, the whole mix felt really weird to me. But I like the kind of like the old doomcore vibes. Felt very kind of 90s, like mid 90s kind of doomcore sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. Very authentic in that way. Kind of like it was like, yeah, going down a dark that's like K-hole music. But yeah, the whole stereo effect thing on the, I think it was the same stereo effect on the synths and the snares. It was just way too much. It just like it didn't the synth just didn't feel like it was sat in the right place, and it was the main part of the track for me. Like I couldn't cut it into mono if I had a proper mono button, but I'm on headphones, so been interesting to hear what it sounded like without all the stereo. But yeah, it's interesting choices. Mike, what did you think?
Well, first of all, I actually love the track because of the atmosphere. It's nice and dark, and it figured, that he's inspired by earlier mid-90s stuff. I like that sound as well, and I think he captured that pretty well. Also, the pad is very unpredictable, and I like that. So. But like you said, maybe the mix could use something, maybe indeed. But overall, I think it's pretty decent track, man.
Yeah, the pad had enough movement in it, I think, to keep it interesting, and that's one of the tricks, right? Is like if you can because your main element of the track, if you can kind of keep that moving.
I don't like sing-along songs, and so this is pretty good.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, same as you guys. The first thing that frustrated me a little bit there was some phasing in the hats at the start. I don't know if you've got those hats layered, but it sounded like they were phasing.
Dude, with that much stereo on, there's got to be some crazy phasing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, so worth taking a look. But I like that old kind of Dr. Macabre vibe. Somebody's written in the chat. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Cementi says, high pass the pad, the low end is conflicting a bit. I love the sound, reminds me of Fifth Era.
Yeah,
it's nice to see your name again, Jay. You've been quiet for a while. I hope everything's okay with you, buddy. And make yourself at home in our community and join our Discord. And if you want to share your links in there, I know you've got lots of sets and stuff, then feel free. All right?
Lots of what?
Sets, not sex, Greg. Did your ears prickle?
Did you know the last song was called Threat Level Midnight, or whatever it was, Threat Level Red.
Yeah.
And this one's Widespread Danger.
Oh, well,
there's a kind of theme going on here.
Next
I'm like,
up,
what's the next one?
Post-apocalyptic warfare.
Oh my god!
Myrage Industries. Let's go. right, a little bit about the artist. This is Myrage Industries. Hi, Joe, Greg, and special guest. My name is Chris, and I'm from Groningen in the Netherlands. Groningen! I grew up with the 90s hardcore sound, saw it fall apart, and also witnessed the resurrection around the millennium, which I found a very inspirational era of hardcore because of the huge quality increase of music production. I really dig the darkcore sound, as it was called back then, but production-wise, I've been focusing on techno for many years. As blood is thicker than water, I started producing hardcore under my new alias, Myrage Industries, about a year ago, focusing on an industrial type of hardcore with releases on Noisy and Dark Descent. I also hope to be able to get some gigs in the future because I love to spin this stuff as well, but for now it seemed a win-win situation to submit this track to the Oblivion show. Either you and listeners of the show like it, which would be awesome, or I receive some valuable feedback, which is just as awesome. Thanks for listening and keep up the great work. I love the show. Well, first of all, you're very welcome. It's nice to hear a nice message like that. I like the track. I think it felt a little bit lacking in some bits, but I really like that eerie synth kind of making me feel uneasy, actually, in some parts. A lot of nice movement in the track. What did you think, Greg?
Yeah. There's some really good parts to it. I like the structure. Okay, kind of set the scene. It kind of like that synth came in, and then it kind of like switched. It kind of dropped back down to a kind of minimal kick and built back up again. I really like that kind of vibe. I think there's more opportunity there to have a bit more impact in that with that some of that stuff, like pulling back a little bit and then into the kicks a bit heavier. It felt like it had a kind of bit of a free party kind of techno with the K kind of vibe in that, you know, the kind of the kicks that just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. And I think like there's parts of the track that could have had a lot more impact by stripping out a little bit more, giving a bit of space to breathe, and then dropping into the kicks and having a bit more power and stuff in the kicks. There was a lot to like in there. I like the vibes, I like the ease in it, like the kind of synths and the way that the structure works. So yeah, cool. What do you think,
Mike?
Well, I'm the worst person to ask for tips. I think, but it had consistent pace, and I love the drive in it. And actually, I think it's pretty much ready to go. You know, if I would hear this at a party, you know, really, work well, I think.
Okay. Hey to Gemma in the chat. How's it going, Gemma? Nice one for joining. I think I saw.
By the way,
Frantic. Yeah.
How do you know his name's not Myrage and not instead of Myrage? It could be Mr. Myrage.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right, I'm moving on. Next track is LXD with Scum 1.1.
Myrage sound.
I want rustlers, cutthroats, murderers, bounty hunters, desperados, mugs, thugs, nitwits, halfwits, dimwits, vipers, con men, Indian agents, Mexican bandits. Could you repeat that, sir? Rustlers, cutthroats, murderers, bounty hunters, desperados, mugs, thugs, nitwits, halfwits, dimwits, vipers, con men, Indian agents, Mexican bandits, muggers, muggerers, bushwhackers, horn scratchers, horse thieves, fool types, train robbers, bank robbers, ass kickers, shit kickers. Could you repeat that, sir?
about the artist. This is LXD. LXD. Hi, I'm Alex. LXD from the Netherlands, but now based in Edinburgh, Scotland. I've been on the New Blood before, the episode with Mark Okadapan, and I had many good responses after it. So first of all, thank you for reviewing my track, Deformation, that day. I've got many releases on Sonax Records, which is a hard techno hardcore label from that release, but I feel it's time to take it up notch. I want to be focusing on industrial hardcore and hardcore side of things. I've always been heavily influenced by that sound. I would like to share my track Scum with you. I'm a fan of hard-hitting kicks, high drive, but also love melodies. Let me know what you think. All feedback is welcome so I can improve my productions and never stop learning. Thanks again. Until next time. My initial feedback is it seems like there was a lot going on in the mix. It was trying to get all of those elements in, and the synth just wasn't cutting through. There was either too much mid in the kick or an EQing or mixing thing. It was just not quite balanced. Go again?
Track spacer is your friend for this. Like the vocal, like stuff like this, where you've got vocals, you've got synths, you've got kind of like the mids going on, the kicks, everything's happening in that, whatever, 500 to 2K stuff, and you've got loads going on at the same time. You've got to choose what's going to be at the front. Like when you've got that synth going, when you've got the vocals going, you can't hear. There was parts of the vocal where you just couldn't hear what he was saying because the synth was going on. There was snare rolls happening. You need something like track spacer if you want the vocals to cut through the synths and whatever else. Decide what you want. Like what is up front right now, because everything can't be up front all the time because it just becomes, like you say, a bit of a bit noisy and a bit too in your face all at the same time. So yeah, choose your element. Use track spacer or whatever whatever your preferred tool is to create some space, multi-band sidechain and whatever that is, and then go from there. But there was it was a cool tune. There was some really nice kind of like Millennium vibes and stuff like that. But yeah, it just needed a bit of work on the mix down, I think, to decide what's where it's going to be. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but also the ideas are definitely there.
Sure.
I love the sample, works really well. The arrangement's very familiar, of course, but for a reason.
Very
so
early 2000s. you know where you are with that shit, right?
Yeah, and it always works, right? So why change it?
Deidre said in the chat that says, listen to Greg on this one. It helped me a lot. Track spacer for the fucking win. Mikos, hey Mikos, I hope you're okay, bro. I'm saying boss advice. It's a frequency sidechain plugin. And Basterix says also check out Frank Pole's free track spacer clone for Fruity Loop Studio Patcher. Ooh. So there we go, Alex. Thanks for submitting. And I have no doubt we'll see you again. Good stuff, man. Nice progression. Next up, Talman. Duty equals... Talman.
Oh, Talman.
Talman. Talman. The duty operate. Go. Talman, still living in Finland and getting older every day. I'm trying to do a bit of every genre. Yeah, I feel you, bro.
No, you don't, Greg. You liar.
I'm trying to do a bit of every genre to my taste, but I still have problem finishing tracks. 3 years ago, I was lucky when 3 of my tracks were accepted on New Blood, so thank you for that. These tracks that I sent you are now ancient ones, but they're updated yearly, so hopefully I can release them soon. Before that, I'd like to hear what the community has to say about this one so that I can make final fixes for at least this track. I really like the flow of this. Some of the kick parts were really nice. That last drop was really nice. I think some of the high-end elements need working on, especially in the breakdown. I just want to play this back because I just want to reference it just real quick. It just feels like that snare and some of the elements just... It's just not getting the justice it deserves. It should be like slapping through, and the whole breakdown feels like it's a low part of the track, and that's your opportunity for bring like the dynamics out of it and really make it pop a little bit. And maybe there's just too many things going on in there. Just
a lot of reverb on the snare and stuff as well. It's kind of like sitting it back into the mix, and like you say, that's a really nice breakdown, but you want it like you want to bang your head to it, right?
Yeah, it should be like
make it slap a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Any further feedback from you guys?
I loved how it went straight in.
Oh, yeah.
Just, you know.
Yeah.
No joke.
Some really nice bits of programming, some really nice kind of like kick patterns and fills and turnarounds and stuff like that. He's obviously spent some time studying.
Yeah, many transitions, like good transitions.
Yeah, some really nice little transitions. Yeah. There's he's got some good technique there, but the half of it is structure and kind of programming, and then your other half is you kind of mix down and stuff, right? It's kind of like you create creative choices and then the kind of technical side to it, and it's finding the balance of both, isn't it? Because some come easier to some people. You get some people that make really nice technical, clean, really good sounding tracks that just feel a bit boring sometimes, and other people could make some really gritty, dirty stuff that that really needs work technically, but it's got the vibe, it's got the groove, and I've liked it. There was definitely there's a lot of good stuff in there, but we're all still learning this stuff, right? No matter, there's no end to this.
It feels like
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing still.
Same, brother. Same. Keep trying, right?
I think if have a work on your mix down and think about what elements you actually need in there and what you really want to make a show of, and maybe remove some of the stuff you don't need and think about it like that now to get it finished.
It's always a challenge, isn't it? Because you want to get, like, the more you build these ideas, you get more and more stuff, and it's like, you just want to throw everything in there, you know, and kind of like have it all at once, and you've got to, let's say, make space for things to breathe. Decide what needs to be up front, but that breakdown's got a lot of potential for a real kind of like neck snapper.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Frantic. In the end, let's go. All right, a little bit about Frantic. Hi everyone, I'm John, aka Frantic. I've been DJing and producing since 2022, so I'm still very much in my infancy with regards to making music. I tried my best to make heavy sounding tracks with lots of breaks, edits and hard kicks. I'm also trying to develop my own style and sound to all my music. I hope you all enjoy my track. Check out my SoundCloud where you can find lots more and some free downloads too. Nice. Not gonna lie, when the breakdown came in and the vocal came in, I was starting to panic because I thought I was going to get a strike straight away. Luckily, I didn't, and I hadn't listened to that bit before. So yeah,
you look different though.
a little bit of panic, but yeah, all good. I didn't get one. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, same. I'm not sure I was a fan of the Linkin Park cover. Do you know who it was? Anybody know who the cover was by?
He's in the chat, so I'm sure he'll.
But yeah, but tonally, something sounded really out of key with it all. For me, it didn't really sit well. That whole the Linkin Park section felt like it was in a whole different key to what came after it. And then that whole section afterwards, kind of like with the kind of weird, I don't know, the weird kind of pipey synth thing. Yeah. Felt like it was like didn't really sit with that section or the kicks that came with it either. So I felt a little uncomfortable. It was like for me, it's like a little uncomfortable to listen to. There was some good ideas in there, some nice kicks and kind of like transitions, but it felt like for me that those sections didn't really work too well. I'm not sure what the Linkin Park cover really brought to it because it didn't really come back. It was just like a thing that didn't feel like it connected to the rest of the song, or the rest of the song didn't really connect to that. I don't think. If there was something that had where you'd layered a kind of pad or a sound or something that worked with the sample that then moved through the next section, then that would have made a lot of sense to me. But otherwise, it just felt like different kind of blocks of tracks that didn't kind of feel cohesive enough. Just in my opinion, that's all. Mike, what do you think?
Well, I think it's it's a track that could be very accessible. Of course, people recognize the the cover. So in that perspective, it could work. But I'm personally not really a fan of using covers, or samples like that that have already been used many times already. Also, maybe use one of your AI rappers, Greg.
Telling you, no,
that's bullshit. But you know what I mean, right? If he could come up with something a bit more original, less recognizable, perhaps.
At least he used a cover and not the original.
Yeah, right. But other than that, I think the arrangement should work very well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's in the chat.
What's up, Mr. Panic?
John, let us know what.
Shout out to Vicious as well.
Let us know what the vocalist was. I'm curious. And hey Vicious, what's good? And I saw Nanostorm in the chat as well. Hey buddy, and also Ruben Riverdance. Hey up geezer. Keep going, John. You've been doing this for 2 years, man. That's good shit for 2 years.
Yeah,
let's not get that twisted, right? Keep going. Keep coming back, man.
Wow.
Big up.
Yep.
Right. Next up, we've got Veeglix with Static Master. That's the penultimate track on New Blood. Let's go.
Homeboys, well, let me give you some to get done. So move along and just have some fun. Move back so you can ding-a-ling-ding on this smooth track. Just feel the groove and let the rhythm flow. So move along and just have some fun. Be static, I'll make you move back so you can ding-a-ling-ding on roof and then jump, jump.
Now here's what I want you all to do for me.
All right, Veeglix, hi Joe and the rest of the team. Great to see the streams picking up again. Something about myself: I am Felix Dewison, 26 years old, and I'm very much a beginner bedroom DJ producer. During COVID, I caught the bug of DJing while playing tunes for my friends in their basement. I previously dabbled in producing but never really got into it until last year. I'm making music as a hobby after work and during the weekends. I'm mostly producing industrial hardcore, techno, but I also really enjoy making drum and bass and other bass heavy music. In the mixes that I make and put on SoundCloud, but I'm a bit more varied. Sorry, the structure here of the text isn't great. I also play old school trance, jungle and chill step. I recently bought a Mackie 1604 VLZ3 and a Roland 303 knockoff and set myself a goal of making a 4-track EP to get to know the equipment.
Nice.
The tracks I submitted are the first results and 2 more in the makings. Do you have any tips on mix down and mastering of the track, as I feel those are my biggest obstacles to get things finished?
First of all, what's chill step?
I guess it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
I don't know. I don't really chill and step at the same time. It's one or the other.
Well, we can kind of find out because he's got a mix right here.
I'm a
So
chill
let's
stepper.
check it
Ooh.
out real quick. Hold on.
That's liquid. Okay. Okay, I got you.
Intelligent, liquid.
There you go.
Got you. Good. I didn't realize it put chill step. Good to know.
Anyway, back
Well, I
to
could
it.
sense, a lot of Hellfish and Akira inspiration in there, maybe. Only thing that bothered me a little bit was, I think the lyrics, the vocals were, not really timed that well.
Yeah, it was off grid. There's quite a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
it
out
threw
of
me
time,
off a little
actually.
bit, because all the edits. I love the edits, and some of the vocals were in place, but others, especially the longer sentences, were a little bit off. It was kind of frictured a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. A few people in the chat mentioned that as well, that it felt like it was off grid quite a lot. So I think there might be some. He mentions that he's using hardware, and I guess he's recording that into a DAW. Might just want to focus on getting that gridded properly, recorded properly, because it might be moving a little bit, especially if you're doing manual adjustments on the fly. Might be off.
Or cut up the samples a little bit more, you know, and replace them, or you know.
Yeah. This question at the end: do you have any tips on the mixdown and mastering of the track? I feel like these are my biggest obstacles to get a proper track. Is there any reference videos, good ones? There's some good Heresy Masterclass ones, right, for mixing.
Oh, that kind of stuff about mixing them up.
Useful.
Yeah, you can find loads of stuff out there. I mean, Patreon is a gold mine, right? So find artists you like, go on their Patreons. You know, there's a load of good stuff. Support the people that are that are putting up these production tutorials and stuff like that. There's loads of really, really good stuff that you can find. You can go the noisier guys. They've got a Patreon. But there's so many other artists as well out there that can give you loads and loads of really good advice. If you like breaksy stuff, you've got guys like Fanu and things like that are really that do. I mean, he's a super master and engineer, and you just find so many production vids. But for for a fairly small price, you can get them. Sign up and get access to all this sort of stuff. But I like that. There was a lot to like in that tune, right? Real cool Hellfish vibes. Really kind of like loads of attitude, kind of like hip hoppy stuff in the intro. I wasn't a huge fan of the.
Nice.
Yes, yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of the kind of the weird blinky blonky synth. It didn't feel like it fit in with the whole vibe from the intro. But that's just personal taste. I would have had something that was a bit more gangster. Right, you got all that kind of like 90s hip hop vibe stuff going on in the intro. Yeah, so you want something a bit more gangster and less bleepy bloopy. But you do you, whatever works. But there's a lot to like in that track. I would definitely get into the vibes for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have got the last track on the New Blood, and it's from Red Flag. Gas them up. Let's go. Sorry, I'm still eating sausage.
I have nothing to fucking eat, man.
Oh, really? Go and grab something if you want.
dude.
First of all, I want to pay a compliment to how far Red Flag's come, Madra. Since we started the show, there's this significant leaps and bounds. I'm going to repeat some of the stuff that's in the chat because I think it's all really good feedback, and then I'll go into the you guys. The vocal was a little bit out of time. Also, it was a little bit harsh at the high end in places. Feels like the master's maybe been pushed a little bit too hard, and I think he even commented himself. But that second drop was really good. And I think with a little bit more work and stuff, you're really making some good progress, and this could be something good for you. And sorry, I've skipped the artist introduction, so I'll do that now. Red Flag is a hard dance artist based in Ireland, producing and DJing all styles from hard techno to UK hardcore and belong. I spent 2024 focusing more on production, looking to improve my workflow and knowledge to create better tracks, which I can fit into my sets. Gas 'Em Up is my newest production, which will be part of a forthcoming EP releasing soon. With this EP, I've been playing around with breakbeats and sampling, evoking more of a 90s feel where these were more common. Big thanks to the Oblivion crew for all your feedback and support so far. Right, over to you, Gregory.
So I think this is a great example of how to get all your elements, make them sound good and make them work well together. Right, there's not too much going on. It's got the stab, it's got the drive, it's got the vocal is the kind of like the thing that drives the whole track. But all the elements sound really well made. They were like well positioned. There was movement going on, like a nice notch filter in the kick drum that kind of kept it interesting, kept it moving. Yeah, it was really good, man. It had a really good drive. Yeah, it could have done with a bit of work and maybe with the percussion and stuff, because it all got a little bit lost in the top end a bit, which would have maybe helped give it a little bit more drive. Even though it had a lot of drive going on in it already.
Yeah, it had a great drive. And also, I love the build up as well.
Yeah,
very good build up from the start. Really intriguing, I think. Yep. And I was thinking maybe it needs a louder kick. And then the second drop came and made it all right, So that shows, that it's, you're really waiting for something to happen, and eventually it happens at a moment that you don't really expect it, And I think that's very good in an arrangement, and hit people over the face with that, So
agreed. And you could really tell that there's thought put into this around kind of what elements to use, when to use them, how to use them. And like I say, each element, the stab, the kick, the vocal, have been well constructed and sit really well in the mix. So you end up with a kind of like the whole piece just feels like it works really well together. And then it comes down to, the kind of like the drive and the groove and everything else, that go along with it. So yeah,
and even an extra cymbal or extra sound, makes you use different as well, if you want to,
Sure.
Keep evolving.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Madra's actually in the chat. I'm not pointing my sausage at you, by the way, Madra. I'll put that away.
Put your sausage away, Joe. Come on.
Yeah, don't feel special, Madra. He does it to everyone.
Damn it.
He said that this was a test master for Dominator, and Fury is getting on the proper one. Fair enough. And he says, cheers, guys. I wouldn't be here without the support of Oblivion and New Blood. You're very welcome, and keep going. And thank you for your support as well. It's reciprocated. All right. Big up. And that was the end of the New Blood. Well done, everybody. Good shit.
Just to shout out again, Joe, because it must be quite scary, or kind of like a little intimidating. You must be able to get a bit anxious sending this stuff in and listening to us Muppets just rip it to pieces. You know what I mean? So it's like, I've got a lot of respect for people that just keep, especially sending their tracks in. But dude, I mean, it's so important that the people, the guys are doing this stuff, and kind of like, this is how our whole scene evolves, is from people, coming in, trying new stuff and just, building their skills and not being scared to kind of, it's scary, to kind of like to throw yourself out there, you know, when you're not necessarily. You always feel, no matter what level, you always feel like there's still more to learn, that you can always get better, that every tune can be better.
Right.
But at some point, you've got to go, here it is. What do you think?
Which is also a good thing, of course, because it, you know, makes you keep going. You know, if you made a masterpiece 10 years ago, you know, then that's it. But no.
Yeah.
If you're never satisfied, you keep on, you know, working on your tracks, you know, your ideas, and, you know, it's endless, man. And,
sure.
But yeah, much respect to all of these guys, man, you know, that send these tunes in. Much respect. Keep them coming, and keep on producing. You know, like I said, you know, I'm the worst guy to ask for tips or be a judge. You know, and that's why I don't watch Idols or, you know, The Voice or anything. You know, but this is on a different level. So yeah,
and I want to also put. Sorry, Mike. I also want to put a shout out to the people whose tracks didn't get picked. We got quite a few submissions this time. Also, some came in quite late when it was already full. Miko's, in particular, yours would have normally gone in, but we were full. Same for Gauge System. And there was a couple more that got cut. We've only got a certain amount of time. In fact, I did more than I normally would today. Greg normally slaps my legs because it takes too long, but I pushed my luck today because it was our first one back. So please, if you didn't get on, send them again. Next show with Art of Fighters. That'll be great for feedback and technical feedback as well. So please send your shit in. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Next up, we have got section with Mike. How are you guys doing? Do you need a toilet break or anything like that? Because I can do a bit of propaganda if you want a little 2-minute break. Or you good? Good to go?
can always piss.
2-minute break beats, please.
Nice. Give me a break. Beat.
All right. Quick bit of propaganda then, if you guys want to jump to toilet break or something like that. I'm not sure if you are all aware, people in the chat, but you can also support this channel by becoming a member. Don't worry, you can still always enjoy the Oblivion show without being a member, but if you feel like you'd like to support us a little bit more, then you can. If you head over to the YouTube channel, and I'll put the link in the chat right now, actually. You can actually join our membership scheme. We've got 3 tiers, one starting at $1.99 a month. That gives you the loyalty badges next to your name, the different colours. As you can see, different people in the chat have got different colours. The red being the best one that's been, I think that they've been a member for over 2 years, something like that. You also get access to all of these amazing emojis that I'm posting into the chat now. And you get discount at oblivionunderground.com. You're more likely to get shout-outs because your name is green in the chat. You get access to the community. And in Discord, you get access to the members-only areas. Tier 2 is $2.99 per month. With that, you get all of the things I mentioned before. But you also get free Oblivion Underground digital releases when they come out, so you don't have to pay for those. You get notification for our merchandise drops. As you know, our merchandise is always quite limited edition, so you get first access to that to be able to secure your merch. Also, we'll be doing some members-only live chats once we get back on our feet a little bit more. That's that. And then Tier 3, if you want to join God Tier, then you get vouchers at Oblivion Underground and Hardcore Beer. You get added to the Oblivion promo list, which means that you get access to our releases at the same time as the artists and DJs in the scene, so you get them before everybody else, basically. Members only videos, priority reply. I'm not going to completely oversell it. It's more really about the support to us, and we try to give you what we can back. I did talk about little there about Discord, and do a quick run through of our Discord server. Thanks to, by the way, Lars and Butterfist gifting subscriptions and memberships to people. Respect, guys. Thanks very much. That's awesome. So, yeah, Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, think about it like an old IRC chat room / a forum / MSN Messenger / Skype / it's kind of like a place to communicate with people, which is away from your standard social media channels. We've got this space set up, and we've got, I don't know how many, over 200 members in here now, and the channel is set up so that we've got different areas for introductions, for chit chat, for people to just talk shit most of the time, but also some fun stuff. We've got members only, we've got a community chat which is specific to the show, and then we've got like the creative zones here where people are asking questions about their production or little feedbacks or things like that. Same with DJing, for DJing tips or feedbacks, things like that. Places to talk about gaming, maybe meet up and play some video games from time to time. Graphic design, video design, streaming. If you're going to stream and you want some tips, then there's always people that will reply, including me, in there. And then we've also got like a link sharing area where people are sharing music releases that have come out recently that you might want to check out. DJ sets. So if you've got a DJ set that you're particularly proud of or something you want to share with somebody, then you can drop it in there. Live streams, movies. This gets self-explanatory the more I go down, right? And there's also voice channels in here. So if you want to jump into these voice channels, then you can and talk to people. Sometimes we go after the show, we jump into the voice channels. Now, this is completely free to join, of course. I'm going to see if I can copy a link now. Copy. So I put a server invite link into the chat there. Come and join if you want. Yeah, that's our Discord server. It's completely free, but if you're a member, you get access to some members only areas. All right, are the guys back? Because I finished my propaganda.
Well done, Joe.
Thanks. Are we all empty and ready to go? Oh, Greg, what are you eating, Greg? What you got?
Your sausage, man.
Paprika.
Greg.
Mate, I tried to find those chips that you gave me the other day. They were insane. I couldn't find them today.
Those yuzu and ghost chili.
Fucking hell, they were ridiculous.
Proper. They were really good.
Yeah. So, next up,
anyway.
Mike. It's all about you, mate. It's all about you. We've broken the ice. We've made you fatigued. It's 10 o'clock. It's ready for bedtime. And now you've got to talk about your life. You ready?
Oh, my God. I hate talking about myself.
Well, you're in the right place.
I barely do interviews, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's why it was such a pleasure to actually have you on the show. So, a lot of people would know you as Mike Redman, certainly within the hardcore space as host at big festivals, Dominator, Def Con, Prospect, etc. But not a lot of people, I found out, even knew that Mike Redman and Deformer were the same person, and also that Mike Redman has a plethora of skills that aren't just hosting. There's also actual, real MCing, rapping, graphic design, visual design, director. There's so much to you that I'd like to explore.
I get entire just listen to it, man.
So, I mean, normally what we do with these kind of interviews is like we go say, where did it all start? So I guess that let's go there. And were you always like really into music, or did you have other creative elements that you were doing out of school, or what was your first passion? What were you being creative with in the first place?
Started at a very early age. I was born creating stuff, I guess. Well, at school, I used the holidays to work on music and make my amateur splatter home videos, and ask all my friends to join in, and they did. And their parents were like, "Man, why is this my son covered in blood?" Well, yeah, Mike had another idea, and
Wow.
But Yeah, well, they soon embraced it a little bit. You know, I'm a school dropout because I knew at a very early age what I wanted to head into, and that was just create stuff. You know, in the broader sense of the word, except children.
I was not expecting that, but yeah, well, you're in good company here for that, I guess.
Indeed.
So you started creating and music. What kind of music was it? Was it like rap and hip hop music that you were making first of all, or was it like electronic music or?
Well, you know, I'm an 80s kid, you know, born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, and I was watching TV constantly, you know, and the television was a lot different back then than it is now. And very inspiring, I think, especially as a young kid, you absorb everything, right? So when I first saw, actually, as I'm here, my first 3 records that I got, one of them just blew me away because it was something completely new, and that was Hey You Rocksteady Crew.
Steady.
I've never seen breakdancing before in my life, you know, so I ran out of the house and got some cardboard boxes from a local grocery store. Soon, I figured that it wasn't for me, you know, I'm just too stiff to be, you know, seeing the Olympics, okay, that might have, you know, be an option, but aside of that, I got this one right here.
Past the Dutchie.
On the left-hand side.
Yeah. But I also had got to choose a record. My father brought me to a record shop, and he was like, "Okay, you can pick one record that's in this store right now." And well, the record already picked me because it was looking at me, you know, like this.
Oh, nice.
So
amazing.
Yeah, that was, you know, it scared the hell out of me, you know, when I first saw this sleeve, because I was, you know, maybe 5 years old or something like that, and I put it on the turntable, and it just blew me away. And also it triggered the visual aspect as well, and eventually the thing I turned into my career visually, because I started, you know, just recreating this cover. So this record was very important to me visually, but also musically.
For the people just listening to the audio podcast, that you're showing Iron Maiden, and which release was it? Sorry,
it's the first one, self-titled album.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, some people just listen in audio, so that wouldn't have been useful without that.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right. So yeah.
And from there on, you know, I started sampling without knowing what sampling was back in the day, just using cassette tapes, tape decks, you know, using the pause button, you know, record and pause, you know, tape loops. I had a live, you know, an analog drum set at home. My neighbors weren't too happy with me, but, you know, back then, yeah, anything was possible, I guess, you know, at least that's what it felt like. So I recorded live drums, being 10 years old, looping tapes, you know, merging it together. Sounds awful when you look back at it or listen to it now, but it was very creative, I think. I felt very free, you know, to experiment with that type of stuff. And also, of course, created the artwork for the cassette tapes, you know, that I duplicated and even tried to sell back then.
That's really cool.
So yeah, that's the genesis of how I started creating stuff, I think.
So was the Deformer nuclear waste thing from '93? Was that how you described there? Was that all sample based stuff, or?
It was, but the thing I was just talking about was prior to that.
Okay.
The first Deformer tape was actually when I got an Amiga computer.
Yeah, I had an Amiga.
And that was revolutionary, I think. So I started
sampler that slide on the side, and
and Octamat. You know, there's these very primitive programs, but back then it was pretty high-end stuff. I think
it was really cool for breakbeats, wasn't it? Octamat, it was awesome.
And yeah, with all these limitations, you become extra creative, and that's still the thing right now. I guess with limitations, you start to think of solutions, and then your brain starts to become more active and come up with crazy ideas. And
so true, man. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the it was the first tape.
I've got that on the screen here actually.
That's really cool.
With a Xeroxed inlay. I also screwed open the tape, and put an image in there as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sorry, let me just bring you up on the screen, Big, because I was looking at the window. Show again. Oh, nice.
Yeah, really cool.
Wow.
Terrible tape, though. The music isn't good, but you got to start somewhere, right?
That's not the point,
Right?
is it? It's more about the creative process, right? So that was 1993. And what was the Pentazine label? Was it just a one-off? Was that yours?
Yeah, it was my own label because nobody wanted to release something. It wasn't even on my mind to release something, actually. But I was very deep into the metal scene, and with that, you had a lot of fanzines as well. Xeroxed fanzines, and you get to know what was going on in the underground. With death metal and all of that stuff. So I had my own magazine called Panazine back then, which was just some stupid thing with Xerox, copy and paste type of stuff, But I figured, why not release a tape and put it out on Pentazine, not knowing what a record label really was, but this is all part of the experiment, and well,
Awesome.
but it evolved, slowly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how did you evolve from this kind of I don't want to use the word immature, but like how did you mature from this kind of young creative mind into a more professional and adult artist, I guess we would say, in both music and also...
Oh, well, I didn't.
Still working on it.
But there was obviously a transition where this became like paid work, or it became something that you were doing as more than just a passion that was just for fun,
Well, I was joking around a little bit, but actually there's a lot of truth in there, because the things I'm doing are still come from passion. I'm doing nothing, or specifically based on, getting more finance with that. I just, and also don't want to excel, be the best at something. At least for one thing, and that is just to live my best life possible without interfering with anyone else's life. That's the only thing I want to be good at. Aside,
that's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah. But the rest is all playing fun, man. Having fun, keep experimenting. Music and all the other projects. Got me. Got me to see all kinds of different stuff in the world. I've been traveling, meeting wonderful people. Still doing a lot of projects, made a lot of friends, and that's what it's all about to me, And the music is, to me, is secondary, actually, Life and living it the best way you can is most important.
Mm-hmm. Words.
And just get rid of the rotten apples, that you come across.
Cut out the drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in 94, and that was the official start of Deformer 93. In 94, you did your first special effects. You produced the special effects and makeup effects for your first horror movie, The Ritual of the Damned, which was on Dutch TV, right?
Well, it was I was very interested in horror films, and I'm still a movie nerd.
Oh, really?
Especially, you wouldn't say, right? So, when you want to do special effects or special makeup effects, especially the traditional types, back then, CGI wasn't invented yet, right? So you had to do everything with fake blood and real time and in camera. I was 15 years old, so I didn't have an opportunity to actually do that kind of stuff because nobody was making movies and they didn't want a fucking amateur, on their set, fucking everything up. So I'm just all about doing stuff yourself. If it's difficult, people don't want to give you a shot, or it's just you're not there yet to actually get involved, just do it yourself. And that horrible film I did back then, Ritual of the Damned is one of them. I have it right here.
Oh, nice.
And,
whoa.
Yeah,
that's a good cover, man.
Well, thanks,
wow,
man.
that is a good cover, and it's 93 as well.
This is 94, actually.
94.
So, that makes 30 years. It's a 30-year anniversary right now.
Wow.
But I don't want anyone to see it.
So, Mike, how did you get there? So you said you were making it in school. You were doing kind of amateur kind of movies and splatter stuff with your friends and stuff.
Right.
So how did you get from that to actually doing this and getting a proper gig with it? Was it just something you just developed, or?
I got a shot from a guy that worked at the VPRO television station, broadcasting station. He saw that I was making these, props and all of that stuff, and they had this program and they needed huge Oscar statues for that. And he was like, we don't have any money, so maybe this kid, wants to do it.
Yeah.
That's what they still say, by the way. Anyway. So I did it, and from there on, I went to the special effects studio in Rotterdam, and there were only two back then in the Netherlands, and so I went there with my resume, and he said, you have a lot to learn, but I can appreciate the drive, so come on in the next day, and get to work. And that was really where it started professionally, and started making a lot of stuff for television and film over here in the Netherlands. And I'm very thankful to Sjoerd Didden, that was his name. He passed away sadly a couple of years ago. But he saw something in me, gave me a shot, and I did it to the best of my abilities, and had a lot of fun too.
That's really awesome, man. Really.
Under him, you worked on things. One of the ones that I wrote down here is Jackie Chan's "Who Am I?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
So what were you doing for that?
The commission came in the studio there, and there was this one guy that also worked there, and he said, we get this maybe this project, and it's for Shaka Khan. And I was like, oh wow, Shaka Khan, that's great. Legendary singer,
Let me love you. That's all I want to do, Shaka.
And then it turned out to be Jackie Chan. And I was like, oh fuck, that's even better.
Well, did he just pronounce it wrong?
Yeah, they did. Jackie Chan is known for doing his own stunts, of course. I was watching his films at high school. And he actually did a movie in Rotterdam in 1998. So we prepared everything in 1997. And this whole thing, we all worked on it. It was like 5 guys, from the studio. But I was actually the one that made a live cast of his face. So I still have a copy of Jackie Chan's face, the way he looked like in '97.
Yeah. No way.
So I made all the wounds and everything, because he falls from an airplane and all kinds of.
Which movie was it?
I think I have it here.
Who Am I?
Who Am I?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's this one.
Yeah. Amazing. Wow.
That's awesome. So after on the back of that because Greg actually was asking about your segue into like hardcore and stuff. Off the back of that, my understanding is that Paul Elstak saw your work and he wanted somebody to direct a music video for him.
You won't believe it, but he actually saw Ritual of the Damned.
Really?
No way.
Yeah, I'm still ashamed of it. And I was good. Back then already good friends with Shady, a singer he performed with back then, and he was working on a new single, which was called "Don't Leave Me Alone," and he wanted like a parody on Michael Jackson's Thriller, and he was like, "Okay, we have a small budget." Very small budget. So again, they asked me, and I was thrilled to do it. This was my first video. I was like, oh wow, because he already had a couple of hits, of course. Rainbow in the Sky, Love You More.
He was huge. Then,
he was
like
huge already. He was like the hardcore god already back then. So I was really excited, and. So yeah, I directed the video and did the special effects in that, and they actually voted it video of the year back.
This is the video. I'm not going to play the audio in case we get pulled.
Right.
But we can see the video.
Yeah, so we made a fake graveyard, and I'm having a little cameo myself.
Oh, really? You need to call it out when you're there.
As a zombie. So this will be me. That's me right there.
Oh, nice.
Choking in a tomb. And back then I was also working with Paul actually during the Nightmare in Rotterdam events in the Energy Hall. So there's also a little Freddie Krueger right here. You see right now. all kinds of Easter eggs in there.
There's a little bit of the music. For a bit of background.
Amazing. Yeah.
So this was back in '95.
Yeah.
And great experience, I learned a lot.
It's really got that Michael Jackson Thriller kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
Like the Bollywood version of it, right?
Wow.
Awesome. Really
and so
cool.
that went to number 2 in the Dutch charts, right?
Yeah. Incredible, isn't it?
Sold 50,000
honestly,
copies.
I tell people in the UK sometimes, that they've got no comprehension really of what the Dutch charts were like and stuff, with like kind of Mokum's hitting and like getting in the top 10 and stuff, and it was a different world than we saw in the UK. We'd get like
crazy,
the Prodigy
and especially
rave anthems, but
yeah, man, yeah. And especially, around 95, the whole Gabbard thing, of course, hit the mainstream. So in Rotterdam, you see Gabbards walking the street, and you still had the underground and you had the mainstream at the same time. Some people will fought against the happy hardcore stuff. I was also very deep into the more underground thing, but this was amazing, and everybody seemed to love it, and to me it was a great experience.
So
very important, personally.
You touched before on the Freddie Krueger character that you created, that you play. So I didn't know this, but the Nightmare in Rotterdam, the Freddie, that's you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Because it's maybe it's strange, because back then you couldn't buy Freddy Krueger masks, and I would make that stuff myself, right? So again, Paul asked me, hey, can you make a Freddy Krueger mask? And it was a friend of mine. We were both very much into Freddy Krueger, and so I borrowed his. He made his glove. And I borrowed it. Eventually, I made my own as well. But that was like the mascot of all these huge parties in the Energy Hall and in Rotterdam, and they were the biggest parties back then. Yeah. And I eventually got to meet the real Freddy Krueger.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But also that was a great experience, because I was very young, and I would. Roll with Paul to all these parties, and especially Energy Hall was legendary, of course. Sometimes people exaggerate by certain things that become legendary, but you know, Energy Hall, legendary all the way from start to finish. You know, it was just a sports hall. You know, there was nothing in there except for a strobe light, a DJ set, a few dancers, and 10,000 fucking gabbers. You know, just losing their minds. It's fucking amazing. Wow. You know, and some very bad salads at the VIP.
Bad salads.
Yeah.
Hell.
But amazing times. Yeah.
So from there, like in '99, you started up your own label again, like your second label, I guess it would be, Redrum Records.
Yeah, Redrum.
Which is murder backwards.
Yeah.
If I can do this.
You know, I was producing a lot of music back then, and also very underground stuff. You know, not a lot of people were into that music. You know, happy hardcore was very popular, and I was already making, you know, hardcore jungle stuff.
Yeah.
And jungle just wasn't popular in the Netherlands. You know, it was really a UK thing. But it blew my mind when I first heard jungle music. I was like, oh man, this is some other stuff. You know, these very deep sub bass tracks. You know, chaotic breaks, and that was my thing. You know. But over here, they're like, nah. You know. Yeah, I can't dance to that shit. I started, you're lacking rhythm. Well, yeah. So that didn't work out, and I was, you know, throwing parties, hip hop parties back then at the same time, which became pretty successful in the Netherlands. A lot of new talent didn't get an opportunity to get gigs or do something with the music, so. I created this platform together with some other guys that formed the Redrum Squad, which was a squad producing music, making rap music, but also organizing events. And it was just, you know, really great times with a lot of music, a lot of talent, but it would all go away because nobody conserved it, you know, or preserved the music. So that was key to actually setting up a label myself and release some of these groups from Rotterdam that made underground music and release my own at the same time. And so it was more born from necessity.
Yeah, well, by definition, it's a really eclectic label, right? There's such a diverse type of different genres of music on there. I mean, if you look at some of the artists that you've worked with, as well as the people that we're familiar with within the hardcore scene, right? But people like Guru, Public Enemy, De La Soul, Ice-T, and Big Daddy Kane all had interactions with that in some way. That's huge.
Well, I don't really think in genres, you know. I just think in good and bad music concerning to my own taste, you know. And a lot of people try to discourage me releasing different types of genres on a label, especially back then. Actually, it's another anniversary. You know, Redrum Records is 25 this year.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm just happy that I'm still, you know, following my passion, and people are intelligent enough to pick their own stuff. You know. If you don't like this, you might like that, you know. And having a label like that, I just like you know, to work with all these different types of music.
So around this era, your official debut release, because if we don't count the cassette that we discussed before, your official release was the F-Executioners.
Yeah.
I've got that here.
Horrible name, right? Well, at first, you know, before it became Deformer, the breakcore stuff or jungle stuff I was producing was under the name F-Execute. So then I came up with the name Deformer, and I thought it was better fitting. And the title F-Executioners, oh my God, why? Don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it was very well received. A lot of people didn't even think it came from the Netherlands, because over here they were like, oh yeah, when it's from the Netherlands, I don't know, if it's from the UK or America, they're more interested. So it worked out very well. Them not knowing that it was actually from the Netherlands, but and it was a really really strange album. It's trip hop, it's jungle with drum and bass. It's touches on breakcore a little bit, and yeah, it had some underground favorites on it. The Possessor is one track that was played very many times in the underground scene.
The Possessor. I'm just going to flick to this real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow.
Come here.
It is here.
Already with a lot of B-movie samples and a lot of horror themed stuff in there.
Yeah.
If you go, forward it like 30 seconds, you get more to feel the track. But this was more in the time, that drum and bass became a little bit more popular, but we all revolted against drum and bass, in the early years of that because, as junglists, we were like, oh man, that's commercial shit, they made it, to make these arrhythmic people dance to it, So the real junglists were like, oh no man, fuck drum and bass, but eventually, it all came together and it's all love, man. It's all love.
What were you using in the studio then around that time, around 2000?
Well, back then I didn't even have my own studio really. So I worked with this guy, Martijn Spierenberg, who eventually became the keyboard player of Within Temptation, the famous metal band.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, I had all the ideas, I had all the samples, and everything was already in my head. But I didn't have the gear to actually put everything together, But it was a very nice collaboration. It didn't really last long. But yeah, the early days we worked together, and that's what came out of it. And then eventually, I saved a lot of, money. We're just doing shitty jobs, and together with the guy I was working with back then, a phenomenal turntablist, Anilas. He was. We bought a sampler, a Kai sampler, and that was the next step.
Yep. Yeah. And that changes everything, right? Then you got what was it, S2000, S1000, or something like that. And
yeah, I already worked with the 950, of course, but then around that time we had the S5000.
Oh, and, nice.
Yeah, and experimented with it, also with the limitations and yeah.
Yeah. When you think, I mean, a lot of the really good drum and bass and kind of electronic music albums that were coming out around that time. The software wasn't like it is now. It's like, you kind of like talk about Wormhole and things like that, albums like that were just made all with hardware and stuff. And you just like, how did you do that stuff? How did you do those bass lines and stuff?
I was really a big
sound that good.
Yeah, and especially all the stuff that was coming from the UK was so amazing. And somehow most of the producers over here, which were many, by the way, within that specific genre, all the records that came out just sounded soft. Even though the tracks, were aggressive, the mastering over here was pathetic, when some of these producers here had a record mastered in the UK, it was, sounded completely different. When I played my first records, I had to turn up the gain a little bit, just to get a little bit of comparison, balance with these records from the UK. So that was very inspiring. And yeah, so I went to the UK many times as well, just to buy records and get the new stuff. I remember Torque coming out. I was just shopping, and the record just came in, and the record owner just got the record and put it on the turntable because you couldn't listen back in the record stores. When I bought records, which were many, it was like just singing the title. I don't know, just some aggressive style. I was like, okay, that's gonna come with me. But the Torque record, I was like, oh man! And these guys, the record shop owner, and there were some people in the store as well. Everybody was like, "What the fuck is this?"
It was just that, yeah.
So I bought two. And it's very inspiring record. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we should play a little bit of music from you. We're kind of around the year 2000 in our timeline, and you gave me a track here, Slasher, to play.
Oh, right.
Do you want to introduce it, and we'll fire it up?
Sure. I might have an introduction to this track, also visually, because I like to be, a little bit grimy, when it comes to music. I don't really like happy sounding music, I'm a happy guy myself, so maybe that's the contrast I need, but I was into horror, of course, the horror films and everything, so I wanted drum and bass around that period was very tacky, and I just wanted to be a little bit more obscure, and I have some records here. Like these records, fucking amazing records. I don't know if you can see, but but the artwork, was always very sterile, and I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of the artwork. I loved, the music, but visually, it didn't really attract that much. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a dirty track, called Slasher. Hopefully it it's the kind of lives up to the expectation, as well as the cover that I did for it, because this was a cover, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this? This can't be drum and bass. This looks like a fucking grindcore record," So the sales were horrible, but everybody back then loved the track, So yeah, it's when you hear it now, it really sounds old school, But back then, it triggered people, and people really went nuts. Well, it's a fucking long introduction, far too long. Sorry.
Let's play it.
Okay.
awesome, man.
Really cool.
Thanks. Prehistoric, when you listen back to it. But yeah, it's made 24 years ago, so...
It's got very, very strong, like, Dutch vibes in it. It's got, the 909. It's got the kind of, like, the kind of gabba stabs and stuff like that. It's very,
absolutely. Very much inspired by, Roughneck, Predator, all these guys that were busy at the time.
But it doesn't sound like gabba. It sounds like...
It's got, like, that early breakcore sound, that steppy, dormousey kind of early kind of 2000s vibe to it. Really
right.
Sounds like a Dutch guy that listens to a lot of UK.
With the hand Scotted coming in the middle.
Really cool though, man. It's really, really cool.
Shout out to Rob Air, who's just joined the chat. Oh, Rob Air! How's it going?
Bro.
Sick artwork on that. Made a big splash. Going back to your movie production stuff, around this time you made another independent movie called Walkmen. Well, it was a documentary movie, should I say, the story of hip-hop culture in Rotterdam between 1979 and 2001. Tell us a bit about that.
Like I was saying, I was organizing these hip-hop events in Rotterdam, which became pretty popular. So I filmed everything back then. So I wanted to make a compilation of the best moments of these events, but also add some background to it, some history as well, And then I kind of discovered that there wasn't anything accessible, regarding the rich rap and hip hop culture from Rotterdam. So then I came up with the idea to not use the best moments of these events, but actually make a documentary on the history of hip hop culture in Rotterdam. And so started interviewing everyone that I knew, and it was very popular as well over here. Also, many hardcore producers were very deep into rap music, and still are. Using a lot of samples, of course. But yeah, it was a serious scene. Then also with somebody that had the equipment, cameraman and editor, Victor Vroegenewij. He was a guy I worked with to actually make the film. That was Walkman was something new. I've never done a documentary like that, but it never left me, because I'm still doing it to this day, and the reactions are amazing. I remember the premiere was in a big club in Rotterdam, and all these old school heads were there cheering for each other, and because that's what it was, it was like an ode, to the people that inspired me, and also a lot of other people that were very important, and some may have been forgotten. Others became a little bit more popular, and I tried to capture that all with Walkman, and to this day people still refer to it. When I look back at it, I would have done it completely different, of course, but it was, again, the first step.
Part of the process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how did the hip hop scene? Because I mean, there's lots of talk about how the hardcore scene differed between Amsterdam and Rotterdam and stuff. Where there's that's kind of very well known and documented. But what was the hip hop scene like between Amsterdam and Rotterdam? Was there rivalry, and was it like they're kind of different scenes?
No, Well, the hip hop scene and the hardcore scene were different, of course, but the rivalry between Rotterdam and Amsterdam was actually pretty much the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was never into that, I never, I loved the stuff that was coming from Amsterdam, certain records and the very inspiring scene, the rap scene as well as the hardcore scene. There was a difference in airplay, and that's what upset a lot of people over here. A lot of producers, especially hardcore, were looked down upon because over here there wasn't any media. We were stupid, haven't have the right connections to get it aired or anything, and that was also the trigger to for the Euromasters to actually release their record, this in Amsterdam like that. And it wasn't really a personal thing, but it was more about, hey, you're making stuff and it gets on the radio and the television. We're doing our stuff over here as well, and it gets no attention at all, And so, yeah, that was the main difference. But I love going to Amsterdam.
Was there a feeling in Rotterdam, especially in the kind of, I guess, like more underground scenes, like hip hop and things like that, that you kind of like you had to push harder, you had to be better because Amsterdam's got the, it's getting the airplay, they get the kind of like the preferential treatment or whatever. So if you're coming from like from Rotterdam, you've got to work harder, you've got to be tougher, you've got to put yourself out there more. Was there that kind of vibe, that feeling?
Absolutely. You can hear it in the music. It's most of the time very gritty, very straightforward, Euromasters, man, come on, it's right? Yeah. And also Ball Terror, that was a huge inspiration as well, I actually have some of these records here. They were very important, of course, All Is Not a Closer record. That's a classic. But also, let's see. Oh, here you have the, Euromasters record, of course. Illustrated by the phenomenal Linnea, of course. Legendary stuff. Wow. These are all, and it's hardcore stuff, man. Ball Terror. Fucking classic. And also one of my favorites, actually, a little less known maybe, but. The Sound of Rotterdam. These were tracks that were a little bit too hard, for Holy Noise. The things Rob Fabry, Paul, and Richard van Naam were doing. There's one track on here, the Crucify Him, Destroy Him track. When this came out, it just blew my mind, And so later on, years later, I asked Paul to do a remix for it, and it was fine with him. So that's what I did.
Gareth is in the chat. I assume it's Gareth on the Prospect account saying he's giving you some love.
What up, Gary?
Mike Redman is the most talented, diverse, and unique artist from Rotterdam. Period.
Oh, I'm leaving this podcast right now.
You've
it's making me shy.
It's not gonna get any better, bro.
That's why I don't like doing interviews, man. I like talking a lot, but
You should take the praise, bro. You deserve it.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Hope you're good. So this, you started to gain some quite momentum, and I'm fast forwarding a few years from this Walkmen thing. But in 2008, you worked with Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Wow, tell us about that, man. I'll bring it up on the screen now.
Well, I was working on another documentary about the sampling culture within music and the art, especially the artistic point of view. And so I wanted to talk to everyone that I thought is very important. These key figures like George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, these funk legends, but also the people that sampled their music, and Bomb Squad, the producers team of Public Enemy.
Yeah, baby.
So important, So I got to meet Chuck D and interviewed him, as well as their DJ. DJ Lord was a phenomenal turntablist and DJ. But before I go into an interview, I just want to make, give him some of my own work, just to show him that it's not necessarily for a school paper, So I gave him a couple of records and went to the Public Enemy show afterwards in the Milky Way in Amsterdam. And when I came in, I heard my own music playing, and it was DJ Lord, actually playing one of my records.
What?
And that was the biggest compliment already, I was like, what the fuck?
Wow,
man?
the Public Enemy
shit.
When he's dropping your tracks.
He's dropping my tracks, and I really seemed to love it, And afterwards, he was like, hey, man, this is incredible, I know he's into drum and bass as well, And he said, yeah, you need to do a collaboration. And, that was the biggest compliment I could get already, you know. But
oh my God!
I was a bit skeptical, of course. You know, I've met a lot of artists, you know, and when they say something like that, you know, usually it doesn't really come through, or you know, nothing comes out of it. But a week later, I just received an acapella from Chuck D, you know, and I was like, oh my God, now we got to produce something.
How many people say that?
He wanted a drum and bass remix
from Chuck D.
It's fucking crazy. It's insane. Wow. Yeah, because you know I was listening to Public Enemy, you know, forever already on my
same
fucking cassette tape. You know, it's so inspiring. So yeah, I did the remix. I made 5 different tracks. I picked one, and one came out, and they granted me permission to actually release it on my own label. And I was like, oh my God, does it get better than that? Does it?
So big, man.
Amazing.
And yeah, we first premiered it at Lowlands Festival, which was very exciting. It was a huge tent, a lot of people, and people loved the track. And a few years later, because I always kept in contact with Lord, because he's a great dude, and somehow picked another beat and landed on one of their official albums later on. The Nothing Comes Quick in the Desert album. So yeah, I actually did an official track with fucking Public Enemy, guys.
I've actually got.
I still can't believe it when I talk to you.
That's the Terrorist track, right?
Yeah.
So I'll play that now. We may as well play that now. Please. It's in my list here. So this is Public Enemy, Terrorist, produced by Mike Redman.
Hey yo, check 1 2. This is Flavor in the building. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta tell y'all that Mike is one of the hardest beat creators in the Netherlands. You know what I'm saying? From rap to drum and bass. Word up. Keep making them beats, Mike. Aight?
Put down on that list, they bombing that list, balling that fist, raising that fist, like that, like this, scratching that shit. Terrorist piss, amongst it and miss, avoid that trick. Lost in the abyss, searcher got frisked, EDM got dissed, track got flipped. Lord in the mix, ass got kicked. Doctor, this shit is sick. Doctor, ass got kicked. Lord in the mix, track got flipped. EDM and got dissed. Searcher got frisked. Lost in the abyss, avoiding that trick. Amongst the mist, terrorist piss. Scratching that shit, like that, like this, raising that fist, balling that fist. They bombing that list, put down on that list. Terrorist. How can I make you understand? How can I make you understand? How can I make you understand? I get ill on a pussy with my goddamn hands. Indefinite patterns. 1. Moon on unknown trajectory. 2. Indefinite patterns. Indefinite patterns. 3. Insufficient data. Constantly changing. Indefinite patterns.
The evidence we have gathered all points to a collection of loosely affiliated terrorist organizations.
Wow, Mike, what a fucking
tune.
A feather to have in your hat, that is. Incredible.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Wow.
All due to the kindness of the Public Enemy crew. Yeah. I'm forever grateful for this one.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Shout out to Ian Addiction, who's joined the chat. How's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in there.
Oh yeah.
So that's quite a hard topic to move on from. I'm not going to lie. That's really huge. But there is something else that you talked about that I really want to get into, and that's this documentary that you made that was not released yet. But but I find this very interesting. So this is Sample Not For Sale, and this is something that you did in 2012, and it explores the relationship between various musical generations focusing on sample culture. And you financed this yourself, and I just wondered if you could tell us a bit more about it, because I think you've got a premiere of it coming up, so it might be interesting for you to give a little bit of exposure to that as well.
Well, I was already very interested in the sampling culture within different types of music, and also where the inspiration comes from. Outside of the people that sample, you know, a lot of people don't really understand, you know, the sampling culture and the art within sampling. You know, it's most of the people just think it's, you know, you just steal something from someone else, you know, and obviously it depends on how you're using the sounds and the samples. Of course, you know, you can you know, steal a whole melody, you know. To me, that's not the art of sampling, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I just wanted to make a documentary on that topic, but also uncompromised, you know, telling the real story, you know, showing examples. And from the start, I knew it would never be broadcasted or, you know, shown anywhere aside from a few screenings maybe, because of sample clearance issues, of course. So I knew there wasn't anything else around talking about that subject. So again, everybody was like, yeah, so why are you doing it? Well, why I'm doing it, the same way I'm doing everything, and it's because I'm interested in the subject. And it took 6 years. I went to the United States to actually work on it, you know, meet the right people. And yeah, that's how it was made. And I met, you know, phenomenal people, inspiring people, some of my heroes. And also it gave me a lot of insight. And finished a 2-hour movie. Did a couple of screenings also in America. It was adapted by Cornell University in New York, which was a great honor, you know, because it's, yeah, that's more important to me than being on a streaming platform.
Wow! So you interviewed Bambaataa and like Diamond D and Bootsy Collins. Did you interview all these people? Wow!
All of them. Yeah, these are all original interviews, and yeah, also a lot of collaborators.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at this list. Tim Dog. Oh my god, this is like a list of my hip hop heroes.
Yeah. It was amazing to meet all these people, many heroes that shaped, and changed music globally, I think.
Schooly D. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Babu, Dilated Peoples. Yo. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So. Why did it not come out then? Was it clearance reasons or
clearance issues? Yeah, and they're not, you know, the rules for sampling are not really set, you know, so they can come up with anything and you know, sue you or even though it's a lot of it is fair use and also educational, of course. So I don't really know what the rules are right now, but back then it was kind of, you know, scary to put something out like that, you know. And I just
lawyer.
Yeah, and I don't have a lawyer. I don't even have a agent, so yeah, and I don't want no drama. So yeah.
So did I read somewhere that there might be a screening happening, or was that wrong?
Yeah. You might be misinformed, Joe. But
might be misinformed.
There was a screening maybe half a year ago, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I do screenings occasionally. If it's, you know, a good setting, you know, I might do a screening. And I did write a book about it.
Let us know next time you do.
Yeah, let us know, Mike.
Yeah.
We'll just come round and watch it. It's no problem.
Yeah. Now, I think the story had to be told, you know, because it's when you make a documentary and leave certain things out, you know, it's like ripping a page from a history book. But yeah, that's I'm just a stubborn guy, you know, did it anyway.
Awesome. Thanks for giving us an insight into that and further evidence of why I wanted you to come on the show, because these stories are just like mind-blowing. The amount of things that you've done and got yourself into as basically an indie kind of self-made designer, or just by following your curiosity down an alleyway, and you're ending up in all of these really cool situations. And it's so nice to see you having been rewarded for just being a kid still, in your words, and just going for what you want to do, right? It's really nice.
Well, the worst thing you can do is set aside your passion, you know?
Yeah.
With everything. And this is the stuff I like, you know? When it comes to sports, you know, I'm a fucking loser, you know? But anyone else puts their passion in that as well. So, yeah. Oh, well.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us up to relatively-ish modern day. I mean, we're at 2012. I guess we could chug through a bunch of music, because you sent me a bunch of stuff over to listen to.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with Voodoom. So
okay.
This is another one of your projects. So I'd like to know about that, but I'll play the track and then we can dig into that a little bit, and then we'll kind of quick fire through a few tracks and just do a little bit of info on them.
Sure.
So this is Voodoom Rituals 2015.
Tell me something about this voodoo routine.
Well, it's as old as human life itself, based on superstitions, hysteria, hypnosis, and native medicines. You know, I've seen healthy men shrivel up and die because some priest cursed a rag image of them. And I've heard of men going out of their minds because somebody drew a certain symbol in the dirt at their feet.
I like the sound of those drums. It's like they were talking to me.
Look, I'm warning you. You make one hostile move or show too much curiosity about their customs and rituals, and they'll kill you.
Spell. Start the drums again.
So
that's right.
Mike,
died of a voodoo spell.
Yeah. Tell us about the Voodoo
man.
project. That was a good tune indeed.
Well, this was made with Bongra I used to perform with them early thousands. He's of course known for his for pioneering a different sound within the whole breakcore thing. And we did a lot of let me take it back a little bit, because we were hearing each other's music without knowing each other, and I was like, oh, who's this Bongra dude, man? This sounds really heavy. And he had the same thing with some of the records that I did, and so somehow we got together and I worked on this album, the Bikini Bandits Kill 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 record, in 2003. And we did a lot of shows, international gigs, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. But we never really collaborated with actually producing music. So it was actually, yeah. Well, I did a jungle tune with Surinamese lyrics in it, with an MC, Scapulux. And he heard that and he was like, oh wow, because within the jungle community a lot of people were using the same raga samples, and I was like, no man, we gotta record our own stuff and have Suriname lyrics in there. And so then we came up with the idea to actually do a remix of that, and from there on we were like, yeah, let's make a few tracks. And actually Prospect was really encouraging us to do this project. And yeah, Treasure was like, okay, why don't we do an EP on Prospect, Voodoom? That'd be very cool. So Bongra and I started producing stuff, and we were so deep into this that we said, hey, Gary, we got a whole album. You're interested in releasing that? And he did, and it was a huge success. They played it on BBC Radio. We did a lot of gigs. Yeah, the record sold out pretty fast. And yeah, we also have, this whole ritualistic thing around it, having, not just because we both have a metal background, so it's like corpse paint, but more in a ritualistic kind of way. And yeah, that's what it became. And we did this album. We did another EP, and that's the Voodoom project.
Really cool.
Good memories.
Really cool. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to move on to some more music. I'm just conscious of time. We've got another track here, Deformer Happy Hentai from 2019. Let's give it a spin.
Okay.
I love the track names, and also Discogs doesn't like the artwork for this release.
What else is new?
I bet you've got it there though, right?
Yeah, I got it here somewhere.
Yeah, of course you have.
Yeah, it's actually made by a famous guru manga artist from Japan. Can I show it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delicious.
Awesome.
There it is. Yeah, a lot of the record sleeves are banned, you know, or just even in some parts, they're sold without the sleeve, which is a huge compliment, you know.
Which is a huge compliment.
It really is. Yeah, totally.
When something's shocking like that, you know, an illustration, I think, that's phenomenal. You know, won't hurt anyone, right? And if you're still
still get banned. I have no idea, but it's like,
especially now, there's a new wave of censorship right now.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah,
there's always something that's
remember
not
in the 80s,
acceptable.
things like
right.
like music coming through with when you were a kid and you heard something got banned, or you straight away
you have to find
that,
it,
right? Gotta have it, right? Yeah, of course.
I remember I bought American Psycho, the book by Bret Easton Ellis. I remember when that came out, you had to buy it in a brown paper bag. They wouldn't seriously, from bookshops they wouldn't sell it. Like, you couldn't just walk out with it. It was crazy. Yeah, because it was so controversial and stuff like that as well.
What is the problem is, there's people that can't separate fiction from art. I think these are the dangerous people you got to watch out for.
I mean,
because
crazy
same within the metal scene. They have gruesome lyrics and disturbing artwork, maybe to some people. But it's entertainment. It's not
people
like
who get upset by comedians or get offended by comedians. It's
exactly.
Their whole jam is to be controversial. How can you get upset with it?
Right. And also within the artwork,
you need you kind of need to poke the bear a little bit, right, and go, wake up,
right? Yeah,
like, you need to shock people sometimes.
I think so. Yeah, and because there needs to be something for everyone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And not to be overprotective. Yeah. That's where you hurt your head.
Shout out to Ruffian in the chat, by the way.
Part of hardcore, right, is that big kind of fuck you to the mainstream, isn't it? That's why we all love this music, right? We all have something in us that's like, I'm not gonna do what you guys want to do. I'm doing my own thing.
Right.
And this is this is my voice. This is kind of part of it. So I think yeah.
I just want to be provocative, within my form of art. The music,
sure.
The visuals. That's what I like. And it doesn't hurt anyone, I think. Maybe the night versus is a little bit more disturbed, but sorry.
Ruffian jumped in the chat. He says, "Big up, Mike."
Yo, Ruffian, that's my man.
Yeah,
man. Much respect.
I'm gonna keep flicking through music, try and get as much in as I can.
Joe, do you have a clip? Do you have a a Deformer compilation clip, maybe?
Yeah. I can do that. Let me look. Anyone in particular? So from the videos you sent over, yeah?
Yeah, the See Here Scream video, maybe.
Sure, let me dig it now.
I'm not sure what title I gave it.
See Here Scream promo. Yeah, I
got
it.
Yeah.
I can put that on right now.
Yeah, that gives a little bit of an idea, what it is throughout the years, the last 30 years of Deformer. So.
All right, cool. Let's do that then. Let me do this. Boom. Let me do. Yep, and like this. Let's go. Wicked.
Yeah, it gives a bit of an impression, right?
Yeah,
Because the live shows are also important.
Yeah,
you know,
I was going to say that. I've experienced your live show a couple of times, and it's intense to say the least.
You're always welcome, Joe. You know, also to join us. You might lose your head, but
oh well,
or an arm
happen, I guess. But it's nice how you combine your special effects stuff and the blood and gore with the show as well. It really gives a different level of engagement, throwing body parts into the crowd. And yeah, I was at the one at Prospect last year, and I got hit in the head with an arm. Like a flying arm. It's like, what's happening? I love this. You know? Has it always been well received, or have you ever had a show where you've done shit and someone's freaked out, or some like the hosts haven't been happy or anything like that? Has it ever gone bad?
Not really, because I think most of the people that come to the Deformer show, a live show, because I do DJ sets as well, of course. They kind of know what to expect, so they come to the shows and they love it. Some of the venues, at first, we would spray fake blood into the audience, and the stage would be fucking messed up, so they weren't happy about that. But other than that, never had any complaints aside from, just broadcasting agencies or channels that didn't want to publish it or show it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So there was a sample that came in there, and it's a sample. It's kind of a teeniest link through to the more recent release in the Remix EP, and it's the Bone Breaker sample. So I want to play the Bone Breaker track because I've got that in my list here.
And
it's a nice segue into the things that are quite current, right? So this is Deformer, the Bone Breaker.
We have bones, about 200, all shapes and sizes. Treat them rough and they crack or break.
Yo, I break bones, I break beats, I break anything. Yo, I break bones, I break beats, I break anything. I break bones, I break beats, I break anything. Yo, I break bones, I break beats. The bone breaker. I'm the fucking bone breaker. Breaker, breaker, breaker. I'm the fucking bone breaker. Yo, I break bones, I break beats. The bone breaker.
Crack or break.
The bone breaker.
Super cool tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, you love it or you hate it, I think.
Yeah,
all love, baby.
But it's different, right?
The
Different shit.
baseline thing, yeah, it's really cool. Very different. And has more recently been remixed by Angerfist, which we'll probably close the show with later on.
All right.
And so this came out on your label and Murder Channel simultaneously.
Well, it first came out on another Japanese label. I think it was, what's the name again? Aggression Audio, I think. Yeah, I made this track in 2018 and 2019. It came out.
Okay.
In Japan, and yeah. It was picked up a little bit later on, and I came up with the idea to do a remix record with Prospect, and use this one to because Angerfist actually liked the track. It was like, oh yeah, man, this Bonebreaker track, sick. I think he found it pretty original, and I was like, yeah, I would love to do a remix. I was like, yeah, fuck, man. Sure, let's go.
No. Don't say no, right? It's absolutely a yes.
So yeah, that was actually one of the tracks that landed on the album that's about to come out, as well as a phenomenal remix by this man over here. That's
oh yeah,
behind the mic right now. The Dolphin remix, one of my favorites as well. You know, it's
really,
amazing.
really good.
Thank you so much for that one, man.
Dude, thank you for asking me, man. It was, no, it was a real pleasure. It's a great tune to work with, you know. It's like and it's so in my wheelhouse as well, you know, kind of breaks and kind of just all the good stuff, man. It's like stuff you just love to remix. So yeah, it's all good, man. Thanks very much for asking me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it because I love the track. It's been an underground hit for a long time already.
Yeah. You gave me that. You were like, yeah, we need to do a remix. And I think I turned that around really quick. I was like, it all just came together really quick, and I was like, there you go,
fast, man.
Yeah. And you were like, fuck, okay, I've got to wait for all the rest of them now. So.
Well, I wasn't going to play this yet, but since we're getting into it, I may as well just roll straight into it, right? It's topical.
Cool.
This is Deformer, Dead Hipsters Dolphin remix.
Hipsters.
Such a sick remix, man. Greg, give us a few insights into the remix process. You said you turned it around real quick. What got you into flow state so quickly with this?
Good question. I don't know. Sometimes it just comes together. Like Mike had the the track doesn't say the words "dead hipsters" anywhere. I had to get two different bits of the samples and stick it together. The samples talking about different things. I think for me it was like had to be Amons, right? There had to be Amons in it, and then it was like it kind of had a feel that it's like I don't know. In my head, it wanted it to have some kind of like throwback to the, kind of like those kind of Mokum like kind of kicks that had that kind of like flow in it and stuff, and it just worked so well with the Amons and stuff, and that was it. It just kind of like just one of those ones that was like it just needed a few big elements like that synth, the kind of the stab thing, the kind of Mokum style kicks, and then the Amons, and you got like we were talking about before with Madra's track that was really nice. There's like a few good elements there, and you kind of when you get them right and you stick them together, and it's the same with anything with art or whatever you're doing. You get the right elements, you put them together, and you just know that like this is all it needs. It doesn't need more than this. It just needs these three elements like really working and combining well. And that's it. So once those kind of bits came together, then it's just the rest just kind of writes itself, right? It's just kind of showcasing those elements in different ways.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Greg.
Yeah, and again,
amazing.
Yeah, always appreciate it, man.
So I dropped a link in the chat to the Discogs release, but so the MP3s already came out, Mike. Correct me if I'm wrong, and the vinyl is just dropping right now. Is that right?
This Friday. Yeah, so Friday it's coming out on vinyl, double vinyl, limited edition. I'm sorry, Joe?
Go, please continue. I talked over you. Go ahead.
And it's a joint venture between my own small label Redrum Records and Prospect. So you can get it at prospect.nl and redrumrecords.com. And I think it looks slick, man. Look, I have one right here.
Nice. Woo! Look at that.
You can see.
And is it colored vinyl?
It's colored vinyl. I'll open it up right here. It's not an unboxing, but an unwrapping.
Oh, this is a man. Ooh, you can tell proper vinyl junkie. They open the sleeve on their leg. That's the real shit. You learn that lesson real quick, right? On your fingernails, slitting your nail open.
Oh, don't do that.
Woo. Oh yeah.
That's it. Beautiful.
Beautiful, Mike. Real good. So remixes from Angerfist, Dolphin, Neophyte, Outside Agency, Tripped, Drokz, Envitral, and the original Bonebreaker that we played before by yourself.
Right.
Absolutely sick stuff. And that'll go real quick, guys. So if you want it, head to, was it redrumrecords.nl or prospect.nl?
Redrum.
Redrum.
Yeah, prospect.nl or Redrum Records, ending with a Z to make it easy, .com.
Awesome. Great stuff. Well, we can play some more tracks from it since we're here. But before we do, and we've skipped over a year, I wanted to play this Nike commercial because I think this is another super impressive thing that you did, and I'd like to show it off. I just want to celebrate the diversity in your repertoire. So, I'm just going to play this. This is the Nike Air Max Rotterdam BW commercial that was self-explanatory, really. Here we go. Boom.
Baby.
So how does it come about that you get approached by Nike to do the advert for television?
It was an exclusive sneaker presented by Wui. exclusive shoe store in Rotterdam, and he approached me first, and I got in contact with Nike UK, and yeah, this is how it came about. And they wanted something as a, referring to the old school gabber period, and they were like, yeah, do you have any ideas? And I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I lost my headphones. I'm back.
You did.
That's about it. So yeah, I was happy to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's get back onto this release. We'll play a few more tracks from the release, and then I think you wanted to give a copy away. So we'll give a copy away to somebody in the chat.
Yeah. Also have this one as well. It's a compilation.
Oh, nice.
It's, for all the nerds that still play CDs or want to use it as a coaster.
We've got one of those in the car.
They're still limited.
Right, which one shall we play next? Which what do I have here? Give me. I've got the Dolphin one. Actually, I just have the Angerfist one in my list here. Actually, we'll just play the Angerfist one, I guess. It's topical. It's an absolute
a fucking tune.
banger. So let's go. This is the Bonebreaker Angerfist remix.
We have bones, about 200, all shapes and sizes. Treat them rough, and they crack or break.
Yo, I break bones, I break beats, I break anything. Yo, I break bones, I break beats, I break anything. I break bones, I break beats, I break anything. Yo, I break bones, I break beats, bone breaker.
What the fuck you expected? The neighborhood grave digger. Grave digger.
I'm the fucking bone breaker. I'm the fucking.
Neighborhood grave digger. Digger. Grave digger. Neighborhood grave digger. Neighborhood grave digger.
Absolutely incredible. I remember the first time I heard that, Gareth played it to me and Greg actually at the Prospect office. I think it was on my birthday. And we hadn't heard it, and we were both just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, really, really, really fucking good. Tight as fuck. The drums are just so tight.
Yeah,
yeah, sick. I bet you were buzzing when you received this.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a real banger, you know, and I'm very happy that he kept in the, you know, the former aesthetic as well.
Yeah.
You know, and which makes it, a very interesting track and a banger at the same time, I think, because of the many breaks in there, and also Angerfist is always amazing. You know, also as a person, I think he's great. Also working with him with different type of things. You know, he's really he communicates while he's working on tracks, and while most of the hardcore producers, they just do something and you never hear anything, and then it's out, or, you know, same with vocals. But he's very good in you know, keeping me in the loop, and his productions are just amazing.
The edits, just like managing to squeeze the little snippets of the brass in between the breaks and the kicks, and still having the space in. There's just like
And it still sounds like an Angerfist track too, you know, and that's really, it's incredible. Yeah. I think each track on the record also, you know, has the identity of the people that remixed it, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's great, because you might lose it, you know, when you make a remix. You know, sometimes you lose your own identity. Or
you
put your own identity on it too much, and this is, you know, I think all the tracks are a great balanced out.
Yeah,
and you also managed to hit multiple sub-genres of hardcore with the release. It's you know, you've even got like the Envitral one on there, which pushes into like the up-tempo realm. You've got the Drokz Terror one, the Tripped with his traditional like faster old sounding hardcore in the outside
distortion.
agency. Yeah. I think it's well rounded and really good, man. Really good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
thank you so
great
much.
release. It really is. Yep.
And if you wanted to give away a copy, we can do that right now, I guess. So
let's do it.
What we'll need to do is, if you're watching the stream now, we need you to like the stream, comment underneath the stream in the comments with anything, and then share this stream on your social media and tag Mike Redman and Oblivion, and Mike will pick winner and ship it out, and I'll send you the money for the shipping, Mike, in the show. All right, guys, so get sharing, get tagging. I'll repeat: like the stream, comment under the stream, share it on your socials, tag Mike Redman and Oblivion Underground. Boom. All right, that brings us up to current day, Mike. Is there anything that I haven't played that you would like me to close the interview section with? Because I skipped over some bits and I feel a bit guilty about it.
Don't be, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe play another Deformer video, maybe. I'm always a fan of, you know, also the visuals a little bit, you know.
Just before we do, Mike, can I ask you a question about your like creative process? Because I mean, you've got a lot going on. You do a lot of like, you've got art stuff, you've got movies, you've got films, you've got all your music stuff as well. So and this is your full-time occupation. You don't have another job besides doing that's kind of everything you fill your life with in terms of art.
Right.
So do you have a kind of like, how do you manage that all? And do you have any kind of...
I don't.
just hope, just keep it all going.
Yeah,
do you have any kind of like structure around, you know, kind of how you manage your day and kind of get things done, and, you know, in terms of your creative process or how things work for you? Do you have any like things that you try and stick to try and keep a good flow to you know, to keep yourself feeling creative?
Well, my head is always a whirlwind, you know. Always have ideas. Sometimes I just gotta put my head on mute, you know, just to not work on a new project again, you know, because there's already a few.
We were saying this before, weren't we? It's like, you
right,
just
but
pile more stuff on you as you have ideas. Like, let's do another one.
God,
let's do a whole
it's
other
like
project,
exactly.
right?
And they're like, oh man,
Story of my life.
shit. You know, I haven't finished this one, and I'm already working on something else. But, but at the same time, I'm pretty disciplined, I think, and everything to me is kind of the same. Not really, but you know, when I edit a documentary or a film, you know, that's rhythm as well. You know, and within music, I usually paint a picture as well. You know, with the tracks I make. Because most of the tracks, they have a concept or, you know, some kind of atmosphere. And the inspiration keeps flowing. And that's how I do it every single day. Yeah.
That's fun.
And sometimes get something to eat in between.
Occasionally.
But you're right. I mean, all these, and something I've definitely learned in the last couple of years or something since I've been doing some like video stuff with Steph doing this Dungeon Dragons thing.
Which is amazing too, by the way.
Thank you, man. But I've realized that there's so much overlap between like visual arts and kind of like video stuff that kind of feels a lot very similar to doing audio stuff. And this is your world, man, because you do this all the time. But I didn't realize that how similar there are, you know, kind of like to building the structure of a video feels like to building the structure of a track.
Right.
With things like the elements, the kind of like the story, bringing things in to get the viewer or the person used to certain elements that you use. And I've talked to Gareth about this in the past, about thinking of your music and your samples or the sounds that you use as like actors or whatever, you know, characters in your story or in your film and that, right? And how you kind of present them, and so there's some really interesting analogies of that. But yeah, I mean, this is your world, isn't it? And it's stuff I'm just kind of learning about now. But it's like, it just makes me think how many other things are there that are, you know, very similar in this kind of like in the art world.
It is,
or the creative space, yeah.
Yeah, because where it all comes down to is, you know, the limitations, you know, of your own creativity. And it can be limitless, and also what I think is important, the way I work, is not to see what the possibilities are, but already have an idea in my mind and then try to, you know, create that, and not be distracted with all the possibilities, all the plugins, all the video stuff, you know, that you can do. So I'm pretty traditional when it comes to creating stuff, and that's I think what keeps it, you know, to the core a little bit, you know, and unpolished, because these are all raw ideas, and I like to keep them that way.
Yeah,
and not
that
brush
goes right
them
back
out.
to your kind of guerrilla effects and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Just
too,
building
and also
from
I
scratch,
don't.
right? Like
sometimes I don't even use how to use certain new, you know, the new technology.
we get very distracted with all this flashy stuff, and I'm as bad as anyone, right? It's like,
I think so.
I just want to try all these new plugins and stuff like that. But you kind of get. I realize that, you know, I've just spent a whole day just playing around with stuff, which arguably is important, but I could have been spending that whole day making stuff.
Right. When you have an analog drum kit, you know, it comes to your own imagination what you're gonna play. Right?
Yeah.
You don't need any effects to make it sound good.
Right. Yeah.
Comes down the way you play it, what you're playing. So it can be very basic sometimes.
Yeah.
And also, I don't have the urge to become well known or famous as an artist. You know, that takes away a lot of pressure too. You know, I don't give a shit about popularity. I just want to create stuff, and as long as I can do that, I'm happy. You know, but within certain scenes, this guy is doing that. He's very popular. I need to do that as well. You know, that's not how I'm working. You know, and that's why I still don't have a lot of money on the bank, but it's all worth it to me, though. Yeah.
But you've got the self-respect. You know, you're doing the things for the right reasons. You know, we don't make art for other people, right? We do it for ourselves because we have to.
Yeah,
right?
and
that's the whole thing, isn't it? And once you start making it for other people, you're watering down your who you
absolutely.
are. And, you know, as an artist, I think.
Yeah, and I'll never do that. you know, and everything I do, I give it 100%, and I back it 100% as well. But 5 minutes later, I might, you know, do these things completely different.
I hear you. Man, I got so much respect for what you do, Mike. It's
likewise,
really,
man. Greg, come
it's
on.
quite inspiring, man.
Likewise. Yeah.
All good.
Awesome. What video clip did you want to close the interview on, Mike?
Oh shit, I can't remember what I sent.
And we've got Deformer at Lowlands, Deformer at Barog Open Air, Deformer at Festival Downtown, the Inner Outcast, the full.
Oh yeah, maybe the Baruch one. The Baruch one is that's fun. Yeah, that was a fun gig.
All right. Go. Let's do it. Oh shit! Hold on.
Is it next month?
I'll emulate it.
Oh, this is fine. We'll just stay like that. Let's go.
Version, Joe.
Hold on a minute. That's not right, is it?
No, it isn't.
What's happening to
Maybe
that?
you know, you're making a live remix right now.
What the fuck?
You got some
Normal
0.75 going on.
Oh yeah, that sounds more like it.
I'm gonna start again. The cat. I'm blaming the cat. Okay, right. We're gonna
Everyone
go back
does
to
these
the
like
start.
slow-mo, slowed down versions now. That's just what that was.
Hey, I did tell you I was going to fuck some things up today because it had been a while since we did the show. So voila, you're welcome. Here we go.
Screwed and slowed.
Silence! Drums!
The only credible hipster is a hipster who is dead.
I'm sorry for fucking that up.
No worries. Inspiring, man. Might make a new version.
Inspiring. I'll take it. So, Mike, thanks for coming on the show.
Sure.
We've obviously got another section, but I like to close this section.
We didn't even talk about about Mike MCing.
No,
that's a whole other thing.
Well, a little bit, but yeah, not that much. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you. My pleasure.
I really, really appreciate what you do and all of the different skills that you have as a real, genuine artist. And it's
Appreciate
really
it, man.
nice
Thank you.
to have you on and talk about all that. We could have
Joe,
talked
one
about
thing, though.
so much. Yeah, go.
Because I have a stack of records here that I did artwork for. But there's one thing.
Oh, I
think
those.
The viewers might be interested in, because most of the stuff I do, I always, you know, add little jokes, you know, Easter eggs, or you know, some you know, hidden shit. And I don't know if he knows. I don't think so. But I did artwork for the Satan, right? A couple of years ago. It's called Hell on Earth. I don't know if you know this record.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, in each record, there's something hidden, and people can look for it, you know, and see if they can find it. But this particular one, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, let me see. Oh yes, right here.
Where are we pointing?
Turn it around. Hold up. Yeah. See it?
Okay.
Let me see where it is. No. Oh man, I'm fucking this up, man. Joe, sorry.
All right.
I can't get the fucking angle. Where's the angle? Shit. I can't see it. Alright.
Okay, I see a face, right?
Yeah, it is the Shroud of Turin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I see it. All right, Jesus?
Right.
So on all of the artworks, there's something hidden.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to bring the artwork.
Go look for it.
Right?
Everyone's getting.
Sorry for messing that up. That took too long, but you get the idea, right?
Okay, so on that, it's this part here, right?
Yeah.
Upside down. Okay.
Right.
So, do you have another one? Because I've got a few covers here now. Give us another one, Mike.
You should.
Come
No,
on.
don't give all the spoilers, man. People
All
gotta
right.
go away and find them, right?
All right. Oh.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in this one. You know, refers to messages and. You can't reveal that one.
Wow.
All right, let me see. Another one. No, I don't have it here. But go look for it.
All right. I'm going to be looking through all of these.
Yep.
All of your images now. Nice. Easter eggs for days. Awesome.
Yeah.
Get hunting, guys. And if you find some, put them into the Discord server, and we'll see if we can send them to Mike and have him validate them. All right, that was the end of the interview section. I'm going to do a quick fire what's hot because it's customary, but it is nearly midnight. So I'm just going to flick through a few tracks, give them the promotion they deserve. So I'm going to do quick fire. All right. This is... Oh, it's not that. This is
What's hot?
New Blood. This is What's Hot. So first up on What's Hot today, we have got new track from Rabbit. Let's go.
Vanished without a trace.
Who's there? I hear you. Who is that?
Huge release from Rabbit that's just come out on Hammerhead Records, which is Kelborn's label. I've put a link in the chat. Go and grab it and support that shit. Next up, our very own Death Machine with his recent release on Blackout Audio. This is a Freak Show. Right, we've got to say words about this.
Dude, we've got
to say words. Big up Steph, man. Going
Banger.
outside his fucking little bubble and going there.
He's worked his arse off for this, man. Like, he works so hard. Like, he's been doing this, working on drum and bass tracks for years.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, get better and better and better and better. And now, like, I mean, this is, I'm so proud of him, man. He's worked so hard. And, like, to have a release that is up there, after Ed Rush and Audio just released albums on that label, and they're dropping bombs all over the place, and for Steph to get on that level is it's incredible. I'm so proud of him. He deserves absolutely everything that comes with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely, fucking unbelievable. I've put a link to the release in the chat, but guys, make sure you go over and any publications you see on Blackout or by Blackout regarding Steph, go and show your support there and get behind him, because
for sure.
He's really does deserve that, and for somebody that's coming from hardcore, it'd be nice if everybody just gave him a little bit of their support for all the stuff he's done for our scene over the years.
Really good shout, Joe.
Yeah, go and get behind it, man. And he's also just dropped a mix as well on there, which is bangers. So if you want something to listen to, go and listen to the podcast that he's just done for them as well. Really, really fun.
And as well, man, it's like, right, he could have done a different alias, right? He could have. We
had so many talks about it, and I was like, bro, you just need to go with it. Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? There's a stigma that comes with doing what we do. Got people going, "Oh, you're hardcore, or you're this and you're that, and you can't go into this genre." And I have so much respect for Steph for keeping with his name and going, "This is who I am, and I'm going to show you what I can do in your genre as well."
Yeah,
exactly. Much respect. It's great. Takes courage too.
Also a shout to Gareth, because I know he's in the chat, and a lot of people lot of agents or a lot of label managers would try and keep that artist in a box and keep it. And Gareth's done nothing but support Steph and push him in the right direction, shared everything. Like, that's real testament to the kind of person that Gareth is, to support Steph and push him and elevate him and pull him up instead of trying to keep him in his place. So, shout out to you as well, Gareth, if you're still listening. Big up, man. All right. Cool. Next up, we've got Bass Alert Zoo, the Ophidian remix. Let's go.
What? Rage! Come on! Release! Yeah! Rage! Come on! Listen, I go rage! Who do you think you are? I can't be stopped. I'm living this to the day that I die.
Look at me, flying at the walls of my own mind. A fierce celestial, a brilliant flash of violent splendor.
Ophidian doing Ophidian stuff on Masters of Hardcore, really doing the Bass Alert Zoo remix justice there. There's a link in the chat to the hard tunes for that. If you like it, go and grab it. Next up, we have got Algorithmic on Prospect. This is What's Up Now?
Careful, motherfucker. Stop. What? Run. What? Stop. What? Run. Gotta flip. The enemy is on attack. I put his brains on the sidewalk. Another life I had to waste. Put his brains on the sidewalk. Put his brains on the sidewalk.
Shout out to Ben Algorithmic, huge release on Prospect. You can get that on from prospect.nl or over their Bandcamp. 2-track release, massive release. Very quickly, if you've got any questions, now is the time to drop them in the chat. We're gonna do we're gonna do a very short questions and answers. Best 3 questions we'll do. Last track from, what is that, Mike? Hello? What is it? I can't hear you. Oh.
Sample material.
Okay. All right. The final track in the What's Hot is actually an exclusive. Little surprise for everybody who stayed here. This is forthcoming Oblivion Underground release. This is Fuck Your God by the Carnage Corps.
Oblivion Underground.
That's what you're getting. Forthcoming 5-track EP on Oblivion Underground. And that's going to be dropping real soon.
Well deserved from them boys as well.
Yeah. They've come up through the new blood. and now they're in the What's Hot, and they're getting their release and getting what they deserve. So big up to the Carnage Corps, respect. And a few other labels are waking up to them as well, I hear. So there's some big things coming their way. So respect, well earned. Congratulations. Okay, we've got a very small questions and answers time. I don't want to stay up too late. Mike's sick, and we're all old, so I'd like to go to bed.
I'm about to collapse after this.
Yeah.
So, any questions in the chat that we've seen there? A little scroll. What Butterfist? What tips can you give for processing break beats? Go, Mike.
Good question. I think most important thing is with the stuff that I'm making is EQing. Yeah. EQing and
Are you layering as well as EQing?
Yeah. I'm layering as well. Add some snares. Maybe some percussion hi-hats. I'm not over processing these breaks, and I'm also, aside from the Voodoom thing, which is very aim based, of course, I usually use my own breaks. So these are live breaks, and I just add some reverb, some EQ in. I never compress anything.
Okay. Yep. Anything to add, Greg?
No.
No?
Well, multi-band transients and all sorts of clever shit that you can do, but yeah, I mean, really it comes down to the groove, right? And especially like Mike's saying, like if he's playing his own beats in and stuff, you get in the groove you want straight away. But yeah, if you want stuff to really pop, I mean, yeah, you just got to think about, like Mike said, like some nice EQing, layering. And then the icing on the cake nowadays for a lot of this kind of ultra modern stuff is like multi-band transient stuff.
But also keep mastering in mind, of course.
Yep.
That changes a lot sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
So think ahead of what your final track will sound like. When it's mastered too. Because it's important to have a mix of your own taste, and then the people you work with, the certain things they do to it. Everybody has his own way of mastering as well. So yeah.
Right, solid. Next question, Mike. What is your current music influence? And I'd like to expand on that. Maybe would you consider your top 5 musical influences of all time?
Oh,
that's a tough question.
That's a
like I said,
question.
I don't really think in genres, So everything's inspiring. Every genre is inspiring. I listen to a lot of scores. I listen to a lot of metal, rap music, hardcore, but also a lot of prog rock as well. I listen to everything and anything, I don't really listen to the radio.
Ain't got nothing to tell me.
No radio, no top 40. Aside from that, it's anything goes, man. I listen to everything.
Ruffian is asking, when's your next gig in the Netherlands?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's actually a prospect evening in The Hague, 6th of September.
I'll be there.
Right on.
Yeah, Lizette's playing as well. I think, gonna have a whole crew.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
It's at the Pip, The Hague, September 6th, and it's a great lineup. It's not gonna be the full Deformer show, but you get a taste of it, and I think it's gonna be fun. And Ruffian, you're always fucking invited, man.
Awesome.
One of the best MCs around, also, and producers, by the way.
Awesome.
Better recognize.
Awesome. And for us, our next gig is actually on Saturday, Greg. We're playing at Ground Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Back to back, we're closing the stage, Prospect stage.
Cool.
Nice, that's going to be oof. Have I got any more questions? No, fuck it. And before we do leave, actually, I want to throw some light on the Prospect lineup that dropped today, because it's a bit far.
Indeed.
Can I do this? No, zoom in. That's not working. God damn it. Suddenly stopped zooming. See if I can fix this. Sorry, everybody. I'm not trying to give everybody an epileptic fit.
You're doing a hell of a good job, Joe.
I know. For some reason, it's just... Aha! Here we go.
There you go.
There's the Prospect lineup. Dropped today. That is the 30th of November. Yeah, the lineup is just fucking ridiculous. I'm not going to read it all out, but you would be a fool to not be there. I will definitely be there, that's for sure.
So who's this ruckus at the bottom?
I don't know. I was asking that today in Discord. I've never heard of them. I looked on the socials and they've got a new page up. But
I know most of the other people.
I don't know. Interesting. I'm gonna go
RSS, as in RSS feed. They haven't been around for a while, have they?
RSS feed? No, that's RSS. That's a girl.
People still use RSS feeds.
Berlin, I think. I don't
Hey
know
guys,
who
I
that
got
is.
a question actually.
Yeah, go for it.
I need more followers on social media, man.
Oh, Joe can hook you up with that.
You need to create pages. You haven't even got a page on Facebook.
I don't know anything about social media.
Yeah, you need to kind of create a page, Mike. It's really useful.
Oh, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
It just gets in the way of stuff, right? You need a social media manager is what you need, Mike.
Right. Yeah.
You just have to know someone that's good with social media.
I think Joe's very, very good at it, right?
Joe's very good.
I want an epileptic page.
An epileptic page. I can hook that up, Mike. Here we go. Gareth says in the chat, Mike just has OnlyFans. That's all he needs.
Nice.
Oh, fucking hell. Right, on that note, I'm going to close the show. It's been really cool. It's been cool to really dig into you and all of your stuff. We had a great new blood full of really fresh, like a lot of green producers that hopefully have picked up some tips, some awesome music and visuals from you, and a very quick what's hot. I'm very satisfied with how the show went. You've been an awesome guest, Mike. Thank you so much, and respect to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Hope to hang out soon.
It was really, really cool having you on. And I'll see you in Pip in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. And thanks to you for being my co-host, Greg. Respect.
Always.
Thanks to everybody behind the scenes at Oblivion. Respect to you all. And thanks to everyone in the chat and all of our members and supporters. We'll be back for the next show with Art of Fighters, end of next month. And we look forward to it. We've got one last section, and that is the something different section.
This section.
Man up toilet.
Man up toilet.
Bye guys.
We need to do a thumbnail because Jay. Yeah, we need to do a thumbnail. So we need to put on our best thumbnail faces.
Oh.
Okay, can you do it without that as well? Because Jay, honestly, Jay will kick off.
Okay. Oh no, fuck it.
Come on.
Okay, that'll do. Nice one, Greg. We've got the something different that you need to introduce, and then we are.
I can't remember what it is. Oh, where did I find this?
It's
Is this
Oak
like
Imbecile.
Yeah, it's a kind of very cool. I think it's like a Russian label. I think Bop and like the kind of those minimal drum and bass heads do some stuff for it. But anyway, very cool, weird, interesting stuff. But very funny video. So yes, they win.
I hope
8-bit.
we don't get pulled off YouTube because I haven't checked this.
I don't know. I should be good. Let's find out.
Okay, let's
What
find
could possibly
out.
go wrong?
Fuck, don't like that. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Big kiss.
Great show.
And we're off. Ciao.
Ciao.